Mine is Button Gwinnett. Yes, friend, that is my real name. I am one of only 8 signers of the Declaration of Independence not born in North America, but I gave my voice, my loyalty, and my life to America, because this great land of opportunity gave everything me. I was a leading citizen of Georgia and helped write the state's constitution. During the Revolution, I sought command of Georgia's battalion, but much to my dismay, that commission went to Lachlan McIntosh. From that moment, we were rivals. He mocked me in public, called me a scoundrel and a lying rascal. So I did what honor demanded. I challenged him to a duel. 12 paces, 2 shots. He lay wounded. I lay dying. Upon news of my death, fellow signer Lyman Hall wrote this about me. His whole attention, influence, and interest seemed riveted to liberty. I died for honor, but I lived for independence. Let that be the part worth remembering.
Yeah, please.
Can I ask you, you mentioned you were going to waive certain
Yeah, please.
Can I ask you, you mentioned you were going to waive certain additional oil waivers or sanctions. Can you talk a little bit more about that?
This is the world that you know. The world as it was at the end of the 20th century. It exists now only as part of a neural interactive simulation that we call the Matrix. You've been living in a dream world, Neo. This is the world.
Cameras on, we're going live tonight. American pride and patriot fight. The white rabbit has taken flight. Knock, knock, sleepy Neo, this is for real. We're swallowing red pills left and right. Come and overdose with us Tuesday night. They say we're crazy, say we've gone too far, but we're just truth seekers under the dome. Don't be mad at us, Google Chrome. They laugh, they mock, they think we're insane. Please just use your effing brain. This is the UPC where real Americans are standing up, taking control of the Matrix we keep dying for. You don't like it, you can leave. If you wanna complain, call the damn 6 screens, cause we're already detached from deep state machines. They say we're crazy, they say I've gone too far, ready to drown us with feathers and tar. If you're still in our country, we haven't gone far.
Jimmy.
What's up with the glitches?
Yo, it has never been this bad. If you've been watching us since day one, it has never been this bad. I don't know who I pissed off, but my CIA agent or FBI, whoever's watching me right now, hates me. Literally. Like, it has never, I'm pissed. Like, I'm upset.
We might have to go back. We might have to go back to StreamYard.
I don't know. No. I don't know if it's the platform or is it the internet or what. It has never been this bad, Jimmy.
No, I know. It's
never.
Crazy.
And I've never paid a dime for none of these streaming services. So it's got to be me. It's got to be me. I was in the best mood before we started, bro. And now I'm pissed.
Yeah, no, because you said bro like 15 times in the last 30 seconds.
OMG. I'm sorry, guys. Like, this is retarded.
Bruh.
Oh
at least it's not bruh, like my grandkids say.
OMG.
Well, welcome everybody to the Unrelenting Political Corner this evening. Hope everyone's doing well tonight. We'll let Ruby catch her breath here for a second.
This is horrible. I'm gonna have to let like somebody else stream it for me with a whole different a whole different state, a whole different everything, because they are really on me.
We may have to try that, one evening when we're not doing the show, one evening this week or something. Check it out. So, well, tonight, folks, we are supposed to have Beau Benson on this evening. We have reached out to him. I haven't heard back from him, so hopefully he's coming on.
Yeah, he just texted me.
Oh, did he just text you? Good. Yeah. He's coming on, right?
Yeah, he's like, I want to make sure I'm not late.
Yeah.
He's texting me that.
Okay, cool. Yeah, because, I don't think they changed the time in Arizona.
Oh, yeah, because the daylight, whatever, right?
So where he's used to make, they might have messed him up a little bit. But while we wait on Beau, guys, I wanted to share something with y'all. I have a song to play that I found on X this week. It's a rap song. It's about 6 minutes, but daggone, it is full of information. And because it's so full of information, I had to go ahead and make this.
Yes!
What y'all think?
My goodness. Why did I not think that she would do a cowboy hat? That is so you. Oh my gosh.
What do you think? Does it look good? Is it all right?
yeah, it's awesome. Like, that is amazing.
So I was telling Carissa last night, I said, I need to get a big old Q right here and then find a bunch of alien stickers and put it on here and everything. So yeah, this is my hat. It's my hat. What y'all think? What y'all think in the chat?
OMG.
So because I'm wearing the hat, let me go ahead and let me share my screen, and we'll go ahead and do this before Beau comes on. Oh Lord have mercy. Now I got technical difficulties. Share.
Yeah, and I've had the same computer since day one, same internet since day one, and it's just gotten worse and worse and worse every single season. So I don't know why they hate me so much.
All righty. So I'm ready to share it whenever you are.
Okay. Jimmy Bell. Okay. You are live.
All right. So this is a tweet from, I still call them tweets. Get over it. Furkan Gozokara. Okay. This is literally the most insane, raw, brutal rap song ever made. If Drake, Kendrick Lamar, Eminem, Kanye West, Travis Scott, Future, J. Cole, NBA Youngboy, Playboy Cardi, Little Baby, these names that these rappers have. Were asked to sing this.
And the way you say it is funny too.
I know, I'm sorry. Were asked to sing this rap, they would piss their pants. So this is a rap by Big G Chris Webby. So let me do this. All right, here we go.
Full screen.
Yeah,
awesome.
Gotcha.
Well, here we go again.
Once upon a time in our rewritten history, 13 bloodlines rose to power wickedly. They came from ancient lands with depravity and vices, like usury and rape and ritual sacrifices. They worshipped evil gods, but they kept the secrets hidden as they infiltrated and hijacked other religions. They conquered other countries and they printed all the money while they plotted on a plan for the control of everybody. And here we are now, still on the same path, with the devil in the details. You could do the math. Only God's got the map with the one road back. On the human racetrack, we passed the last lap with your pedophiles and Illuminati puppets operating in the shadows like roaches evading justice, subliminally teaching the wicked ways to the public, whether we knew it or not. Now we're all a product of it. See, they desecrated nature and set fire to the wilderness, filled us with their poison and they wired us for sinfulness, stole our ancient knowledge and left us broken and ignorant, and stole our sons and daughters and fed on the stolen innocence. They groomed our behavior and turned us on our neighbors, took away our promise and offered us false saviors. But something's gotta give when you're ruled by the takers, and in the end, us and them will meet the same maker. So I dedicate this song to those who lost their life and paid the price to tell the truth for what they thought was right. Those who up against the odds answered for the call to fight, and now it's time that the fucking darkness is brought to light. Don't get distracted. It's time to load this chamber and aim at the head of the monster now. So go and grab a slice of Pizzagate. John Podesta's here to serve you, eat your plate. Tony's pouring fresh adrenochrome you really need to taste. And Barack bought the hot dogs for over 60K in just a single day. That's what our taxes went to pay. Careful though, he'll take you paddleboarding if you tell his secrets. And stay away from his husband, she's meaner than he is. And Bill Gates is over there with a syringe and gloves, cause he likes to vaccinate the kids before he drinks their blood. And who's that chewing on a pineal gland? Oh, that's just Hillary with all that frazzle drip on her hands. That's red-handed. And there's Bill with jizz on his pants. Galena wiped the stains when her plane from Israel lands. So someone grab the spirit cooker if you looking for the gravy. Abramovich, who is not a witch, well, maybe. And Gaga don't drink the goo-goo from little babies. That's crazy, she's honestly a really nice lady. And look, it's Kevin Spacey right off the set of a movie. He shot in his basement with a child and George Clooney. Weinstein funded it, Spielberg directed it, and Bono made the music and sang at a kid's benefit. And George H.W. Bush is pulling the car up with every man in his family, even Barbara. Ellen's on the way from Diddy's house with Sean Carter, cause here at Comet Ping Pong, the club is what you're part of. Oprah's on the way but she'll be late, she's stuck in human traffic. We'll just have to film the sacrifice and show it to her after. Go and throw it on a lacy dry, but don't be losing that shit. Where's Anthony Weiner's computer? I thought that Huma had it. Just relax, take a nap with that guy in the Biden mask. Even if they catch us, we'll be fine, just give it time to pass. Jeffrey's got our back, this shit is under control, cause he reports directly to the people running the show. Well, gee, who could that be? What a mystery. Even with the evidence, there's not a single hint to see. And these conspiracies have been mistaken all along. So I guess we'll never know just what is really going on. But before you call it anti-Semitism, try to listen and think how I said those families infiltrated religions. At the head of every snake is a servant of Satanism. Shit, the Vatican been human trafficking since the beginning. But one little country has become their seat of power, where they plot on pandemics and wars and twin towers. Babylonian Talmudism has been their recipe, and they've been sacrificing the fucking children for centuries. And they don't give a fuck about us, we're just goy, cattle, subhuman, only here to be destroyed and extorted and abused and ruled over with lies. But don't forget, guys, they're our greatest allies. Oh man, this song is gonna get me in some fucking trouble. That Khazarian Mafia's watching you with the fallen angels and Nephilim. It's time to rid society's closet of all the skeletons. So let me just be crystal fucking clear and set a precedent. If Trump is proven part of it, then burn him with the rest of them. Anyone taking cookies out of Epstein's jar, every Rachel Chandler handler in Epstein's car. And if he's really still alive, his judgment will come when he's mano with God. That's an Epstein bar. We gotta break the mind control of these secret societies that kept us locked in our perception. Then they threw away the keys, making sure we never leave. And that everyone we see are incriminated, guilty celebrities on the screens who've been living double lives in the company of snakes, with the fucking balls to laugh at it right in front of our face. And it's hard when we grew up to love a lot of these stars, but it's time we see the monsters for exactly who they are. And fully cut ties with the idols of our youth, cause our childhood heroes have been hiding from the truth. But the reckoning is coming, ain't no running from the proof. So give every sick fuck at the pizzeria a noose. At the all white parties, show up in black, pulling up the eyes wide shut in a ski mask, kerosene in hand while I'm flicking a lit match, and burn it all down till it's nothing but ash. Raw thoughts. And Now it's feeling like the whole world's cursed. The devil lurks while he ushers in this hell on earth. And a one world government's looming out in the distance. A new world order is coming for the resistance. Well, all we do is bicker till it's ripping us apart. As the globalists controlling us, stripping us for parts. While they reset the score on the brink of world war. As I look around, I don't recognize it anymore. Feel a wheeze from the geoengineering on the breeze. While they blocking out the sky right in front of us to see. Fucking with us with the frequencies of 5G. Interacting with the graphene from the vaccines. And the food that we eat is poison down to the seeds. Hard to even call it food when Pfizer's making the cheese. While the algorithm focused us on how we disagree. They've been building us a prison with digital IDs. So this ain't an act of violence, it's an act of defiance. It's a fucking middle finger to these pedophile tyrants. A reminder to the rebels who won't give them their compliance. When the pressure's on, never getting threatened into silence. And still hit the field while the home team's losing. Keep a cool head through the cries and confusion. Keep an open mind through the lies and illusions. And try to be a good human. So one last time, this the finale, put it to bed. Because after this, there won't be nothing left to be said. And I hope that after all of this, at least I made you think. That was always my intention for sharing what's in my head. And I just needed y'all to listen and wake the fuck up from this nightmare that we live in. So hate or love it if I got you to question the system. With all these raw thoughts, then I accomplished the mission. And the thoughts were my own. In a world where the loudest opposition is controlled. I don't claim to have the answer, really all I've ever known is I gotta speak on it if I feel it in my bones. I've been right about a lot of things, wrong about some others. Shadow banned and demonized, still I never stuttered. Cause from the very start, I just said what's in my heart. So one last time, raw thoughts, motherfucker.
Thank you, Jimmy, for finally putting the nail in the coffin of my channel. Thank you so much. I enjoyed every moment I've had with you guys since season 1.
Do you see now why I had to put this on for that song?
Listen, you need a whole outfit with that. You need the tinfoil gun, the tinfoil belt. You need the whole setup, Jimmy. That was crazy. Thanks for sharing that, though. That was a really good song.
It was really good. And like I said, I like the way he hinted towards a certain country in the words. That was really good. So,
yeah, that was something else. I did not expect that. I'll tell you that right now. That was a good song there, Jimmy. Guys, I'm so sorry. They changed the time on me and I didn't know. So you guys show up typically an hour.
I meant to text you. I texted you earlier, asked if you were going to be on the show, but then I meant to say something about the time change. And I'm like, well, he'll know about the time change.
Well, I did. The last video you guys did, you guys start at 7 o'clock here, my time.
Okay.
But then the savings, right? Is it daylight savings or something like that?
But I'm in Arizona. We don't have that. And so I didn't know. And I'm really sorry. I apologize to the audience.
I mean, I've been confused about that ever since I was a child. So I just let my phone tell me what time it is.
All right.
So
oh my God.
So,
okay.
So what were the before we get into Beau this evening? So what were your thoughts on that video and the message that it had on there?
It's pretty much identical to what I'm about to show you, Jimmy.
I know, that's why I played it.
I was like, okay, wow, I don't even know if I need to now after that.
That was kind of the Yes, we have an intro. Thank you, John XJW Analyzer, who is in the chat for everybody that doesn't know that. Come on the stage, dude, if you want. You know, we're just hanging out here. But we have an intro, but then we had an intro to what you're gonna do. So
yeah.
I teed it up for you, brother.
That was amazing. And yeah, sorry guys, I didn't even know about the language. I mean, that was crazy.
I forgot about the language. My bad. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay.
That was colorful.
It really was. It was.
Well, when I said it was a rap song, I mean,
I know. Yeah.
That should have been a clue, but I apologize to the viewers if you got offended with that. I didn't warn you guys. That is my bad.
That's okay. We only played it to give Beau some time to join. So here he is. And it goes well with the topic. And I know Beau has a lot of interesting things. And you guys already know I'm a big fan of Quinn Wright. He just had part 3 of his series with the Epstein connection with Watchtower. And he has a whole bunch of symbols in there that he was kind of really connecting dots with. And I just watched that an hour before I came here.
Oh, cool.
And that was kind of a white plus black pill that I had to swallow about an hour ago, because it kind of just shows us how the 13 bloodlines are still alive and well. And they are infiltrating, like the song said, infiltrating religions, even though I would say cults, not religion, but hands up, don't shoot me. But I really do believe that we're never going to get rid of anything unless we get rid of those 13 bloodlines. But I don't know.
All right. Well, Beau, you want to present what you got this evening?
Yeah, I do want to share my screen. I got a question, though. It says Microsoft Edge tab, window, and entire screen. I just pick one and it'll show that screen?
Well, click the window because you want to share a specific window, not your entire computer screen.
Yeah, I want to show just one screen. So
okay, yeah, click.
Let's see if this works. You said see some spaceships on there, if it's working correctly.
Okay.
Yep, I got it.
Okay, so I'm gonna start. Here's the first one. Oops, I did not mean to do that. Man, I am not on the ball today.
Okay, you see, I told you don't want to share your entire screen. Okay. Oh, I took Beau off. Sorry. Okay, sorry. Say that again. I took you off.
Oh, okay. So the screen, there should be a thing that says Book of Enoch, Gilgamesh. Yep. Is that showing up for you guys?
Yep.
Yep. Got it.
So let's see if this will. No, of course not. Oh my gosh, man. All right.
This is live,
so
guys.
I wanted to blow it up, but we're just gonna have to go this way. So okay, so basically what I'm gonna show you guys, I'm gonna show you some history real quick. A lot of this stuff is gonna come from the Book of Enoch, 1, 2, and 3, Gilgamesh, which is an ancient poem, Mesopotamian, and then the Apocryphas of Moses, the Book of Jubilee, and the life of Adam and Eve. I'll try to go fast since I was late. So
don't worry about that. Just take your time, bro.
Okay, so if you guys are familiar with Cain, and one of the things, and before we start, just so you guys understand, we're looking at the perspective of the occult. So as I'm telling you guys this stuff, some of this stuff is going to be contradictory to the Bible. And just understand that this is what the occult believes, and this is what the people who do the things the kids do, and this is why they do those things. So first, the life of Adam and Eve. So if you guys have ever noticed that the occult is really into the stories about vampires, I don't know if you guys have ever noticed with the occult. The reason for that is the Apocrypha of Moses talks about right here. It says, "Who drinks its graceless despite Abel's pleas." This is where the story of vampires come from. It actually comes from this stuff. There's Apocrypha writings that say that Cain is the first vampire. So if you ever wondered why the occult's so into vampires, this is why.
Wow.
So these Apocrypha writings, they're very old. The vampiristic parts is more of a New Age system. It's based off this and some other ancient Jewish writings, but this is where a lot of this comes from. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is the Watchers. So if you guys are familiar with the story of the Watchers, why they came down, how the Nephilim were created, the Elohim means basically means supreme power or majesty. So it's a title. It's real important that people understand that the Watchers themselves were angels, then they had children, and then the flood came. We're all familiar with that. Now, what a lot of people don't understand is there is a certain hierarchy of angels. Now, a lot of the demons that we talk about and we deal with and that you hear about from, like just in general, we hear this in the Bible, the principalities. So if you look on this chart here and you see the principalities, you can see the principalities are low on the list. Okay, so we're not entirely sure who the Watchers and where they belong in this realm. They're either dominions or principalities themselves. Now, a really interesting thing for Jehovah Witnesses, you know what an archangel is? Look where it is on the totem pole. Now, I will go back to the archangel thing about the JWs later on, but it's just something I want people to understand is that the Watchers were not the highest tier, but they were a government tier of the angelic world. So when we get to there, so a lot of people get confused about this. It says, now it came to pass that when men began to multiply on the face of the earth, the daughters were born to them, and the sons of God saw the daughters of men, and they were beautiful, and they took wives to themselves, and all of them. So and this is Genesis. So we see the Son of God. What Son of God really means is angelic host, God's heavenly court. So of whatever angelic realm they belong to, they were the top level of that realm. So that's real important to understand that their job was to watch over mankind. So next we're going to talk about Satan. So a lot of people don't realize what Satan is, and they think that Satan is like this super high tier angel, and he belonged to those ranks of angels that were underneath or that refer to the sons of God. So Satan himself was probably the leader of the Watchers. And this is one of the things that the occult knows and believes, but you can take it or not. The Bible doesn't really say, but based on some biblical terms, and these are some of the ones that here. So Job 1:6 and Job 2:1, it talks about the sons of God. Remember that title, and that Satan is there with them. So the next thing we're going to go to is we want to talk about what the angels were doing and why they did what they did. So the law that they follow, because there's these heavenly laws that are placed by God, and the angels follow these laws. So the stewardship of earth, which is basically ownership, was passed down through the line of Adam. So there's a reason why the book of Enoch says that the angels themselves took one wife. All right. And that wife, in order to get ownership of the earth, their descendants to have that kingship, which is that royal blood that we're constantly hearing about, that song was talking about, their offspring, they have to come from an actual marriage, and they have to be a descendant of Adam. Now, this is where it gets really weird. And I'm bringing this background for a reason, and then I'll explain more when we get to what they do and their spells and things. But just to understand, like, the creatures and things that the occult deal with, and we see all these occultists like doing stuff with Bigfoot and all this other ridiculous things. The reason that they do that is because the Nephilim are giants. They're these huge giant creatures, and the Bible talks of them being literally the size of mountains. Now, there's other things referred to as the Elliot and the Eljo, which are hybrid man. So when you hear stories about Dogman, Bigfoot, and cryptids and things of this nature, they would have been the grandchildren of the Nephilim. So in Genesis, the Nephilim were on the earth in those days and also afterwards. So go ahead.
Quick question. So the Nephilim were part human, part like hybrid, right?
The Nephilim are half human and half angel. The Elliot would have been the grandchildren, so they could be there's more human or animal. So the ancient gods and stuff, which I was just about to go into, they actually would breed with animals and have bestiality, and that's why the occult is into bestiality. And I was going to show that next, but that's a really good question. I'm glad you asked.
Okay, yeah, because I've come across this question when you've mentioned the title "Son of Man," and I still have to ask my community about this, but
it's a title.
It's a title. So we were under the impression that it was actual angels who took up human bodies for themselves and had children with the women. But I think there is another, if you guys keep your minds open enough, there is another interpretation of what the Son of Men are. They are actual humans that were around on the earth during that time, aside from Adam and Eve and their kids.
Is that from different apocrypha writings?
I don't know. You see, it's like I mentioned it just to mention it. If anybody knows anything about that, they can chime in the chat or join the stage. But I've heard this, but I have not looked into it because it was just like randomly in a conversation. And those weren't actual real angels, because angels can't have children.
Yeah, this is the avatar effect is what they're referring to. So I'll be honest with you. I've heard it too. I don't know where it's from or what its origins are, because I'm not that familiar with. Because I'll be honest with you, there's so much apocryphal writings out there, and they do contradict one another, and the occult does that for a reason.
Okay. All right. Continue. Sorry.
No. If you any questions you guys have, just feel free to ask me. So the Olympian gods. So there's a lot of things about the Olympian gods that are very similar to the stories that we hear in the Bible about uh, the Nephilim. So this is just an example. This is a Bible verse that says that the flood came and then there were these men of renown, which is like Hercules and stuff. What I've noticed is that, so if you know Greek mythology and you're familiar with Kronos was a titan, and titans were the size of mountains. And remember, the Bible said that the Nephilim, and just so people understand, the word Nephilim can be used for multiple different things. It translates differently. It can mean giant. It can mean like half breed, with angels, and it has other terms too. Like the term Elohim is talking just about spiritual creatures. So just about anything that has spiritual abilities will be a Elohim, and I'll do a little bit about that here in a minute. But
Right.
what I think, or what the occult believes, is that Kronos was a Nephilim, and his children underneath him are the Elliot. And the one thing that you notice about the Elliotts and this works with any hierarchy of any of the ancient gods, it doesn't matter which one, you'll notice that they're really into incest. Right? And the occult is into incest. And the reason for that is they're trying to keep this bloodline as much of the Elohim in it as possible.
Right, that makes
So,
sense. But quick question, that family line, can you put that back up there, that family
absolutely.
tree? Okay, so
Uh-huh.
these kind of were presented to us, I'll say like education, that these are just myths, legends. These are not real people, real gods or anything. This is just like a
Yeah.
story. What would your opinion be if I said something like, well, maybe all of these characters were actually real, but they were demons?
That's exactly what I'm getting at. And that
Oh,
you're
okay.
you're right on the money. I mean, you're
Okay.
absolutely on the money. I just haven't got there
Okay.
yet. Like, you are on it and you know your stuff,
Okay.
and that's awesome.
Okay.
But okay, I'll just
Go.
tell you right now, I agree with you 100%. And the Bible actually supports this.
Okay,
And
great. Great.
I don't know,
Okay.
I know you guys, most of the people in the audience are a form of Christian, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm new to Christianity. I've only been a true Christian for, I think, maybe 6 to 8 months. So, I mean, a lot of you guys don't know me, and you don't know anything about me besides the Arizona JW stuff, and that's how you guys know
Right.
me. But I used to be a paranormal researcher.
Oh,
Oh,
that's
cool.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
kind of
and it's one
cool.
of those things I don't really tell people about because I do the JW stuff, and a lot of people ask me not to speak about it. So in the professional
Right.
sense.
Right. Right. But I'm in
So
the same boat with you, Beau.
yeah.
So I've only converted about a year ago, and I'm learning all of these things as well. But I'm glad we're on the same page. That's really cool because I've had these thoughts, but I've never been able to like talk about it with somebody who can understand it and not judge me. So this
Yeah,
is great.
no, this is great because I'll be honest with you. Like, I do have a lot of Christian friends, and they know
Mhm.
very little about their own history.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
that's one of the things that I noticed. Well, I noticed because I used to be a debater. And I used to
yeah.
debate religion. So
Hmm.
I
Okay.
and yeah. So okay. So
All
sorry about
right.
that. I'm a little
Yep.
drifting off here.
Go ahead.
Okay, so this right here. So one of the things that we know about satanic rituals is the thing about children and eating children, right? Well, if you know the
Hmm.
lure of Kronos and you know that he was one of these Nephilim, right? This is the theory, and he devoured his own children as his lure, right? And then we know Zeus overthrow him with weapons of the gods.
Yep.
Kronos' size is said to be the size of a mountain. Zeus and the other gods are about 10 feet tall. So
Hmm.
they're still giants, but they're not as powerful, and they're smaller.
Hmm.
Now, this is a thing about like ancient mythology. If you know the creatures like mermaids and all these things are Elliot and LGO, which I don't know how to pronounce the second part correctly because I don't speak
Hmm.
Greek or Hebrew, just so you guys know.
Hmm.
But one of the things I thought was really interesting is these characteristics that these creatures have are going to be the same characteristics that the Nephilim have. So, yeah, are you guys familiar with the term of homunculus?
I've heard it.
So if you hear that term, what that's referring to is genetic engineering. So homunculus is any kind of humanoid creature that is artificially created.
Okay.
So it's a fake human. So human animal hybrids. So if you know Greek mythology and you know any of the mythology of the other gods, you'll hear that the gods would sometimes breed with animals or curse people and create monsters. And that's what the Elliot is. So the Elliots are a lower form of Elohim.
Okay.
Now, I want to give you an example because personally, I think that it's genetic engineering, and that's my thought. And I'm giving the example. If you guys know about the spider goat, so the spider goat, if you guys are familiar with this, we've genetically engineered goats with spiders so that the goat's milk is actually silk, and we use it for Kevlar vests. So we genetically engineer animals all the time, just like they did in Noah's day.
Wow.
So a lot of people don't know that. And then this is the part that I find is really interesting. Now, I'm telling people that my theory about the Nephilim, okay, and why I think the Nephilim are what they are. If you go and you take like the Book of Enoch and you talk about the personality traits of the gods, they match exactly with the traits of Nephilim. And the same thing with homunculus and the same thing with the hybrids, right? So that's basically the way the ancient books talk about the Nephilim and why God had to wipe them out and can't reason with them or save them is because once they get to a certain age, their personalities, no matter if they were good, nice, kind, they automatically switch and then they gain these certain traits and they became sadistic. And one of the things they were into, they were murderous, they were psychopathic, they were cannibals, insanity, they're sociopathic, vengeful, vanity, and violent. So all these characteristics would take over at a certain age. And like there's lots of stories about Nephilim eating their own mothers, their children, and then they eventually started eating the land, all the animals, and then once they were gone, they started eating other Nephilim.
Jesus.
So that
wow.
that's the stories, and this is part of the reason why I never knew this until I started actually researching the Bible outside of what I was taught by the occult I was in. Because the reason why God said to wipe out the Canaanites has nothing to do with the Canaanites being evil, bad people, really. It was because they had this genetic line, and these spells that they would do to create the Nephilim and other hybrid creatures was in the food and the animals. And this is why you weren't supposed to marry them. This is why they're all supposed to be put to death, even the children, is because this genetic line and these traits would exist in them.
Which makes, I mean, you would have to wipe out every single thing with emotions. It's cleansing. You have to cleanse
it's a virus.
The area. Right, because they did the breeding and all that. So I mean, it's safe to say that that's exactly what was going on when Noah was alive, and that's the whole reason why the flood came.
Yeah, so I know a lot of Christian religions don't pay attention to Genesis for whatever reason, which is bizarre to me because that's the foundation. And if you know why God does what he does those things because it was a necessity. And the way I was taught wasn't that. I got the occult version of what was going on. But the actual like serious like satanic occult, they absolutely believe this. And if you know, I don't know if you guys have ever had experiences with exorcists or not, but I've talked and worked with exorcists, and exorcists have talked and said that some of the demons that they've removed from people, they've had the Greek mythology and Norse mythology is then the names, like Loki is one of them that they've actually cast out of people. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Before we move on, Beau, talking about the genetic engineering with animals and humans and everything, does anybody remember watching the movie Dr. Moreau's Island?
I know of the movie. I've seen parts of it where he was crossbreeding human DNA with like lions and other stuff.
Yeah. So maybe while you're chatting, maybe I can find a trailer for it and we can play it later. But again, this is something that they have put out there into the realm of the public. So they're showing you what they have been doing. That's what they do in the movies.
And they've been putting it in kids' movies like Disney and Marvel Studios. Like literally Hollywood has been trying to normalize all of this as heroes or villains, but like in a cool way, you know?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you too, I have seen some videos and some pictures. Now I cannot verify their authenticity, but it's showing some of these creatures. You know, you'll have like service members going through a tunnel, and then you'll see this creature come across. They have some that have been in cages and things like. I cannot vouch for the authenticity yet. I can't tell if they're real or not.
Yeah,
but it's out there. So I'll just say that.
Well, just to throw out what you're saying, Jimmy, if you go through historical records, like I said, I was into like, supernatural things. There are records of kings and all kinds of people dealing with supernatural creatures and ordering their execution and things of that nature. It's not like an unusual thing. Like this was pretty much just the norm up until World War I. And then all of a sudden this stuff isn't real anymore. But even then, that's pretty much just in the US. If you go to other countries, like Nordic countries, they still believe in the Fae, which is about to do next.
Yeah. So hold on a second. So you said this stuff was kind of the norm up to World War I?
Well, yeah. So if you look at history, so if you look at like old like newspapers and stuff about like cryptids and supernatural creatures, if you go and what I'll do is I'll tell you guys, if you want to learn more about this stuff, learn about cryptids. And there's always weird stories with cryptids. And if you'll see like a lot of times we hear about Bigfoot, the Yeti, and all these other things, and there will be a story behind them. Like, and a lot of times there's like some kind of weird demonic background. And you'll hear like folklores of different like every single state has their own weird supernatural creatures, if that means anything.
Yeah, and another thing is back in the 1800s, there were newspaper articles and stuff talking about giants and bones found and things like that.
Yeah, I'll get into that too. Yeah, okay. You guys are on the money.
I like J Mar's comment where it says based on the 1896 novel The Island of Dr. Moreau. I did not know that was from 1896. So this falls kind of in line with what Beau just said, that this was kind of the norm up until World War I, because that was in 1914. So if that book was written in 1896, yeah, they were talking about this stuff back then. That's crazy. Okay, just something I observed.
Oh no, I appreciate the information. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with what the Fae are. So if you guys aren't, elves, pixies, brownies, things that are like North mythology, they're the Fae. And when I was doing research about the Fae, one of the things I noticed about the Fae is that the Fae don't claim to be gods like the other groups do, that they say that they work for the gods. And so that kind of put them in this kind of weird category. And then the further I go back into their history, the more demonic they get.
Oh, wow.
And I thought that was really interesting. And I'm going to give some examples of this. So the Queen of Elfheim is a prime example of this. She's supposed to be really, really beautiful. Almost all elves in the ancient mythology are sexual deviants. Like they would sleep with women, married women. They would kidnap people and rape them. The queen was really known for doing this. And there's a story about she kidnaps a man, holds him, and then other elves go and talk to the woman and tell her what happened. She begs for her husband back, and she gives him back. They have they're not as psychopathic as Nephilim. And so they come from the Scottish Balts. I don't know personally if they are just more human than Nephilim, or if there's some kind of Elohim that fell during, the Watchers in Adams. I don't really know, but based on some of the mythology that we hear about them, I think that they're personally just grandchildren of the Nephilim, because they get real dark real quick. But one of the things that's really interesting, and this is going to really be important later, and I'm going to go a little bit into this, is for whatever reason, when they would have children, the elven offspring are supposed to be unnaturally beautiful, and a lot of them had blonde hair and blue eyes. And the women were especially like men went crazy over them.
Mm-hmm.
Now, from a genetic standpoint, we know that that women that are blonde hair, blue eyes, that men find them more attractive than any other race. Now, the thing that I want to point out is it only is for females. The same thing from a genetic standpoint. And this is, I put an example of one of the doctors that was doing one of these experiments, just so the audience is interested in it. It's not the same for males. It's only for females. And the reason I'm bringing this up is the occult has a thing about blonde hair and blue eyes and ritualizing those people. And we know the Germans did the same thing during World War II.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So here are some characteristics they have. I'm not going to read them. If you guys are interested, you can kind of just go back to the video and then look at them. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because there's something about the blonde hair and blue eyes that is important to the occult. And they go and they purposely, if you know anything, if you worked with the police, blonde hair and blue eyes is the most common child that is abducted.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, and it's for rituals. Now, like Jamie was talking about, like historical record of these things. So the Danish king Hrolf, he made a peace treaty with the elves, and they fought the elves back and forth for land and stuff. So the elves are not like this make-believe fake creature or mythical creature. Like there's actual interactings. Merlin, King Arthur, they talk about them. And then also, if you guys are familiar with the metaphysical war the Catholic Church had, which is Pope Innocent III in 1198 to 1216, he actually ordered the extermination of these things. And so Christians were actually going and executing elves. And the reason they're executing elves is because they would go and have sex with people, like break, marriage vows and things like this. A lot of Celtic people before Christians came, they have elven names because it was such a common thing for them to interbreed with them. Now, elven children don't have pointy ears and look like Lord of the Rings and shit like that. Full-blown elves are like that, but not their hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa. Okay,
Yeah.
hang on a second. All right, you literally blew my mind with the whole metaphysical war. I've never heard about that. So
Yeah.
I have definitely written that down to go do some research on that. They
Yeah,
fought elves?
Well, the metaphysical war means that it wasn't supposed to be a real war, but they
Right.
were removing, the culture was removing them because they're demonic. Once you learn about the elves, like for an example, the elf on the bottom here, I don't know how to pronounce this name, but it means beautiful, and it says white elf, and it says good in nature, and that's how they're portrayed in North lore and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're medicine women and things like that. They're supposed to be really pretty, blah blah blah. Well, the Catholic Church started learning their history and writing it down, and they claim that they learned their abilities from Lucifer himself.
Oh my word.
Yeah. So if you know anything about elves and fairies, and when construction sites run into one of their grave sites, they will build around it because the gold the elves have is supposed to be haunted.
Huh.
And people, they don't want to mess with. That's why I'm
Wow.
saying, like, even modern countries, except for America, is like the only one that tries to act like nobody believes in supernatural things. That's not true. Anyone else around the world, if you know anyone, they all definitely believe in supernatural things. It's a very common thing around the world. It's just the U.S. is like the only one that kind of tries to say it doesn't exist.
Is it because of? Oh, go ahead, Jimmy.
I was going to just, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is it possible that that's the case because, we were infiltrated, these evil people took over America. So is this a way of kind of, hiding it from the public that this stuff
Absolutely. 100%.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just to understand, go ahead.
Yeah, sorry. I was gonna give another theory. Do you think that maybe the reason why we are kind of like blowing this off as fake stuff is because maybe we're a newer country than the rest of the world?
Well, I would say no, because if you look at, like, let's say, like the pilgrims and stuff, they talked about supernatural things, and they knew of supernatural things and fought supernatural things in the forest and stuff like that. Like Native Americans told them about things. There's lots and lots of stories about like a militia like a kid was kidnapped or killed, and then they're out there hunting the Bigfoot creature. There's a militia, and they talk about. I'll just give an example of one. Is they were shooting it with muskets, and the bullets were bouncing off the creature, and it killed like the entire platoon.
Native Americans would have this type of, but ever since
No,
we
what
kind
I
of
just
wiped them
said
out.
was Americans. Like this was something that was like I don't know the exact date, but this is when America was already established. I'm talking about pilgrims and
Okay,
stuff.
so then that would next question is, where can we find
Yeah.
those types of stories? Because I've never heard about that stuff either.
Yeah, I didn't bring any of those into my my thing because
That's okay.
yeah, I'll be honest with you. If you look up cryptids and you just look up like ancient cryptid Bigfoot stories and stuff, you'll find them. Any like documentary about Bigfoot will talk about this stuff because there's certain newspapers and stuff that were talking about this. That's where
Okay.
I would go. Native Americans, like I know you guys, I told you guys that I grew up with Native American, being taught about Native American
Right.
things.
Right.
My Native American people know about the Nephilim. We talk about them. They dealt with them. They fought them. They killed our people. We killed them and buried them in caves and all this other stuff. There's tons of
What?
history about giants and Indians. Yeah, Indians fought Nephilim for a long time.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like a
So
movie.
yeah, and this is the thing is we know this and we talk about this, but Indians don't talk about this with outsiders very often. So if you go to like a Native American channel, they have I've seen channels talk about stuff like this and the history and stuff. I mean, you can find it, but it's very uncommon for them to want to talk about it. So,
Okay.
just real quick, the fallen angels are the strongest. The Nephilim is next, and then underneath them is the Raphaim, the Elliot, which are the hybrids, and the Bigfoot, and then genetically engineered, the Fae, and then demons are actually the occult believes that demons are the Nephilim when they died from the flood, that their physical bodies disappeared and their souls are still around, and that's what demons are.
Oh.
Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know. Some Christians believe this. Some Christians believe that demons were like. I just will be honest with you. There's lots of those stories about where demons come from, and the Bible it doesn't really tell you.
That actually would kind of make sense to me.
Yeah, and this is why demons, you can't trust anything. This is why even when they work for you, they turn on you, is because remember I talked about the Nephilim and the ancient gods and their psychotic behavior. They cannot stop that. They are actually psychotic.
Wow.
So their hatred for you is so extreme that they'll ruin their own plans just because they hate human beings so much. And then basically the red hair giants.
What's the beef? Like, so much? What's the beef?
Because God took their physical bodies away and took their ownership away from the earth with the flood.
Yeah.
So the Nephilim had children with human beings so that they could have stewardship. So God didn't kill them right off. And a lot of people don't realize is the Nephilim time period, there's about a 900 to 1,000 years from when the angels landed and had sex with women to when the Nephilim destroyed the earth. So it wasn't like instantaneous. It took almost 1,000 years before they completely wrecked the planet.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Pause. Let's pause because chat is on fire, and I really do want to read these to Beau really quickly.
I'll do the best I can to answer them.
Okay. So really quickly, Chad. Hey, Chad. He's in the. He says, the Catholic Church also killed the knights who found the demons in King Solomon's temple. They were using the demons to threaten and kill people. The Catholic Church killed all of them, but one or two.
Yeah, my next slide is going to be about King Solomon, and that's what he's talking about. So,
this is so cool.
Yeah. So the King Solomon thing. So whoever's saying that, the part about that, I don't know 100% about that, but I know that King Solomon used demons, and he had a binding ring that he used to build the temple, is what the occult believes, and that's what ancient Jews taught. King Solomon was actually a sorcerer, and he wasn't just a sorcerer; he was the greatest sorcerer in history.
What? Okay. Chad says, The remaining knights went on to form the Illuminati.
Yeah. So that's the Knights Templar. From what I've been told, and I'm not arguing with him, but the Knights Templar became the Illuminati.
That's what I've heard.
Okay. All right. I think that was.
Chad's got some really good comments in here.
One of the bigger comments.
He's got one. Since God didn't make them, they didn't have souls, so they couldn't go to heaven or hell. So God bound them to the earth, which I've listened to another channel before that talked about the demiurge and what's her name, Lilith, and all that stuff.
Yeah, she's in my thing too.
Is she really? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So how they were actually this true light source didn't make them; these other beings did, and created
Moloch.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, he's in my presentation too.
This is so interesting. I like this stuff.
Wow. I thank you so much, Beau. I am so thankful for you.
Yeah, you know what? I gotta tell something to you guys. There was things that I put in here that I didn't know about that I found out when I was hurt. And you're getting additional information I didn't know that I got when I was injured.
Oh, wow.
And that was pretty recent. So this is like
that was like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, I couldn't move my arm, and the injury's been really bad. And luckily, like, I'm recovering, and I'm so grateful I could share this because I was so upset that I couldn't share this with you guys.
Yeah, well, we're enjoying the hell out of it.
Yo, for real. Thank you, Beau.
I appreciate you, brother.
And take care of yourself.
Yeah, no, I am. I can't even begin to tell you how many doctors I've been seeing. I don't even know who and what is on my phone because I have so many appointments and so many things going on. But that just shows you that, like, you know, I'm very lucky that I'm being taken care of so well.
Awesome.
Oh, I totally lost track. Sorry about this. So demons, all right. So like Jimmy and like the people in the audience are saying, there's different origins for demons. So Mastema, which is also the Moloch and stuff, because a lot of the demons have the same names, and so Satan has multiple names and stuff in different mythologies, just so people know. But supposedly he kept 10% of the demons instead of, because the angels are in the fallen angels are in the deepest parts of hell, which I completely forgot. Tartarus is what it's called. So Greek mythology, the Titans are in Tartarus. You'll see this connection of biblical knowledge and then occultic knowledge blending together. And that's what I'm going to go into next. Is the occult makes up different kinds of mythologies for creatures, and they always blend true stories into them. And I'm going to use Gilgamesh as an example. If you guys don't know who Gilgamesh is, he's a giant. He is the first architect of heroes ever seen in human language. So if you know the story of Adam and Eve, Eve is the wife. In this story, Lilith is the first wife of Adam. So I'll talk about Lilith a little bit later. So also this tree, there's three demons. There is a woman, there is the crow, or the raven, I'm sorry, and then there's a snake. So the demon snake, right? And then there's the serpent in the Garden of Eden. You can see a correlation. The occult always does this. They always do this. It's something to do with like their ego, that they have to show you that they're lying. It's almost like it's a commandment by God himself that forces them to do this. So if you know the story about the Hulapu tree of eternal life, which is in Gilgamesh, it's a representation of the tree of knowledge and good and evil in the Bible. The demon raven in the Bible, ravens mean unclean in the Bible. So there's a direct correlation to the Bible and then the mythologies.
Wow.
Now, more with this. Now, I told you guys that the occult creates crazy amounts of mythologies. Lilith is a prime example. So Lilith is a demon of Mesopotamia. She is also referred to as a goddess that preys on children. She's a demon that preys on children. She is the first wife of Adam in the medieval Jewish text alphabet of Ben-Sir. So and she's a demon of seduction with Gilgamesh. So Lilith has multiple different belief systems. The reason I'm talking about Lilith, guys, to you guys, is because they also say that Lilith is Athena from the pantheon of Greek mythology. The reason why this is so important to me and you is because we live in America, and I'm going to discuss that in just a second. But the owl is a symbol of Lilith and Athena. So remember that.
I
Yeah,
remember
I already know. Jimmy already knows.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the red-haired giants, if this is what you guys are talking about the museums and stuff.
Yep.
So Vikings, Europeans, Native Americans, Africa, China, Japan, the Middle East, and Russia all talk about these creatures.
Yep.
They're in every mythology, and they were in museums up until World War I. And then after that, they were been removed. But we have photographs of these things that still exist. Every museum, they're gone. And supposedly, if you go to a country, you find the bones or something, that the government will come and take it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you could take this with a grain of salt because I can't prove this. I have friends that were in the military that said that they saw these things in the Middle East.
Yeah, the Ukraine. Yeah,
what you wait?
The
You
war
mean
in Afghanistan? Afghanistan. I think
Yeah.
that's where it was at. Yeah, they said that allegedly that our military came across one of these beings.
Yeah.
dead or alive?
He was
alive.
Yeah, there's a story. There's multiple stories about them killing soldiers and soldiers killing them. There's like stories. I'll tell you from my firsthand experience what my colleagues, I'm gonna say, told me. They didn't see this. They don't know anything about it. They just saw the body because they were part of the transport team.
And so we have that story with our military. Let me just interject another story here real quick in regards to Gilgamesh. It was said.
Clinton.
What?
The Hillary Clinton.
Oh yeah, yeah. So so there was in the Hillary Clinton's emails, and I'll have to find so I can read it to you guys exactly. But it talks about basically the tomb of Gilgamesh in Iraq, and make sure I get the right place. Yeah, it was in Iraq. So in 2003, it was said that the Iraqi people were unearthing this tomb of Gilgamesh, and we couldn't, as the United States, we couldn't let that happen. So that was allegedly one of the reasons we went into Iraq. The real reason we went into Iraq was to get this tomb of Gilgamesh. It says in 2003, German archaeologists using magnetic survey technology identified an ancient structure under the former Euphrates riverbed near Uruk, Iraq, that they suspected could be the tomb of the legendary King Gilgamesh. The site matched descriptions in the Epic of Gilgamesh, but excavation was halted by the Iraq invasion. Key details regarding the discovery: the 2003 find, a team led by George Fassbender of the Bavarian Department of Historical Monuments discovered a complex of ancient buildings, including gardens and field systems, and a large central structure in the former Euphrates riverbed that matched description of the king's burial. The myth connection was the Epic of Gilgamesh states the king was buried in a tomb beneath the river, which was diverted upon his death. The magnetic imaging showed, in the words of the researchers, a structure that is precisely where the Euphrates once flowed, though they emphasized at the time that the findings were not definitive proof. And then you can read the story from there. So this stuff is still being talked about. Interesting stuff.
So I'm just going to put a little bit more on that. I didn't put this in there, but so the occult believes that the bones of these things have some kind of energy or power. And there's some stories, and I don't have like direct resources to validate this, but they said that they're sometimes radioactive. Now, man, when I say radioactive, I don't mean like nuclear, like there's some kind of energy radiation coming from them. But you can take that with a grain of salt. I can't prove that. I don't have any direct resources. It's just something I've heard.
Yeah, Ruby Ruby just pinned a comment. If in Afghanistan, U.S. soldiers fought a giant who came out of a cave. It is in military records, and I do believe I have seen that in the military records on some of the stuff I've researched before. So yeah.
Yeah, I've heard about one story, and then I've only heard two from the Iraq. Like there were two incidents of them killing these things.
Yeah.
And I don't, and I'll be
Wow.
honest with you, my friend, he doesn't know anything about red-haired giants, and I mean he's familiar with the Bible and stuff, but when he saw it, he said that the only thing that he knew is it had an additional digit on its hand.
Wow.
Okay.
But that's about it. I mean, he didn't have really a whole lot of information. So my personal opinion is that Nephilim, giants, Bigfoot, all these things are all probably coming from the same source.
Okay.
Now, this one I really like, and this is really interesting. So Bohemian Grove, which I know Jimmy knows about. I want you
Yep.
guys to think about that. This is just this is my opinion, and I'm telling you this is correct or not. I'm just saying this seems very unusual. So Athena is the warrior goddess of war. Okay, if you know about Athena, do you know what she represents? Warfare, wisdom, intelligence, and war tactics. What is the most powerful country in the world?
United States.
Yeah. And what do our leaders worship?
The owl.
And where is that at?
Bohemian Grove.
Do you think that's a coincidence?
Nope. And there's a shape of the shape of DC. The way it's laid out portrays an owl shape.
Yep. And that's the reason why our military is probably the most powerful. Probably has something to do with this occultic belief system.
So you're okay. So you're saying that it's a possibility that they are worshiping this particular goddess to.
Well, I'm not saying that they have. We've caught it. We know they've done it. Like we're positive that they're doing it.
Okay, so you're saying that because of whatever they're doing, worshiping this goddess, that's the reason why the United States is as powerful as it is.
Yeah, because the idea behind it is when you pray to these demons and deities, they give you intelligence, they give you information, they give you angelic weapon and knowledge. So if you know about NASA, nuclear bombs, and a lot of weaponry, and the people who invent them, a lot of times they talk about how a source gave them this information, it was downloaded to them, and then they just knew what they needed to do, and then that's the idea behind it. I'm not saying it's true or not. I don't really know. This is just kind of some of the things the Exorcist had said to me.
I got a Ruby, if you share my screen real quick, I got a picture of the DC thing, the DC layout.
What?
Yeah, there it is.
And this owl is the symbol of was it the goddess? I'm sorry, I forgot. You said to remember and I forgot. I'm sorry.
Athena. So yeah, I can't see you guys what you guys are showing because it's.
Oh, he's just sharing his screen. Okay. Okay, it's just the ground, like a air view shot of
the Capitol and with
I'll be honest, I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shaped like it.
Yeah, I'll have to go back and look at it.
I'll send you a picture.
I appreciate that. If you do that, I'll have to add it to my slideshow.
Yeah. Okay, we're back to your screen, Beau. So we see Athena again. Okay,
so there are other deities that are worshipped in the United States. So Baal is one of them. So Baal, the mythology behind him is Baal is a principality. Remember I talked about the angels earlier?
Yep.
I said that the principality was on the lower qualities. So the principalities are the leaders of the demons. So if you think about child sacrificing to Baal, if we all know about Baal from the Bible, a lot of people associate Planet Parenthood they're supposedly Planet Parenthood owners and stuff are worshipers of Baal. Now, this is kind of interesting. So the powers, because every demon gives you certain blessings, is what they call it. So the power given to worshipers of Baal is invisibility, science, and love. Think about the things that the occult are really into. Think about woke. Science answers everything. The Bible is stupid. everybody's about love. And then the invisibility thing, I really don't understand that one, to be honest with you. And the only thing I can think of is the stealth bomber and stealth technology.
Or could it be that their actions and the things that they do would be invisible to the public?
That's even smarter, Jimmy. That's a way better hypothesis than what I had.
It's like a form of deception, right? Because it's like they're right in your face, but it's like nobody can really see it until you wake up yourself.
Yeah, we're not doing this stuff, but we have to tell you about it. So we're going to put it in our movies, and then we're going to joke about it. But and on Lilith, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, but doesn't the LGBT, especially the lesbian, don't they put Lilith up on a pedestal, so to speak?
Yep. So she's a representation of women's power and authority and sex.
Okay.
But that's her origins, that is more modern. That's a newer origin that she's had this, and it comes from games and anime. Like Lilith is always like gorgeous and beautiful, and she's like the basically the ultimate lesbian.
Gotcha.
But just to like remember that the Lilith versus Eve, it's just like a distortion of the biblical story. Is that correct?
Yeah. So I stupidly, and I apologize to people who listen to me say this. The origins of Lilith's story I was taught was before the Adam and Eve story. That is not true. It's actually a relatively new Jewish text that was significantly after the Adam and Eve story. And so there's a lot of lies on the internet and people presenting that, and it's not accurate.
Okay.
So I just had to point that out because I made that mistake.
Okay, so I'm glad I said it because it's like all of this is just to like get back at what the Bible teaches as truth. So it's like all of these demons are attacking the actual truth that we know from the Bible.
The best lie has a little bit of truth in it.
Exactly. So go ahead. This is great. Go ahead.
Okay, so you guys are all know that we have Bahamut is all over the U.S. government, and there's places putting his things up. So Bahamut is the transgender deity. So this is one of the things that which is weird because I knew this about Bahamut from doing stuff about the occult and JWs. And then recently when I went to pull this stuff up, they've been kind of removing it from the internet. But the worshipers of Baal, one of the things that they would have to do is they would have to transgender their firstborn child. And this is a ritual that is being wiped off the internet.
Yep.
And so, so another example is this image right here. This comes directly out of Jehovah Witnesses literature. This is supposed to be a Jehovah Witness family. This is a direct copy of an archaeological find that represents Bahamut. And it's here on their stand.
I remember this. Yeah, I think you did send this to me, and I know like you are really great with this type of stuff, and this is why Quinn Wright is one of my favorite XJW YouTubers, is because he will point out something like this and make a whole hour video about it. So this is why I'm thankful for you guys.
Quinn goes very high into detail about individual things like this. I've talked to Quinn like before he started his videos, when he first started, and we talked about this. It's really good because, like you're saying, Quinn picked up on things that I'd never noticed. And people in his audience, and like for example, the invisible thing, I didn't even dawn on me, and Jimmy caught it off right off the bat. So I always think it's good to throw this stuff because you're going to miss stuff and other people are going to catch it. But the whole idea is I want to teach people how to identify these things.
Yeah.
So obviously the human trafficking thing, we know that the media hides it. I mean, that goes without saying. And then if you've ever wondered why they are so into pronouns, demons refer to themselves in pronouns.
Yeah, they do.
Wow, yo, that is insane.
That's in the Bible. That's in the Bible.
Yeah, so that's why they say there's all these shirts that Target had that say Satan respects your pronouns. Well, of course he does, because demons use pronouns.
Hey, Beau,
that is crazy.
Can I interject something real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
We have someone in the comments. And like I said, we're here for open discussion and good debates, and as long as they're respectful. Dark Negan says, Ruby, don't be misled. He is equating Moloch to Baal.
To Baal. Yeah, can you clarify that, Beau?
Baal and Moloch are representations of sometimes the same deity. So Baal, Moloch, and then there's a few other names. So the mythology of demons, they'll use one demon and they'll have another name and they'll change it around. So the person that's saying that, they're correct. There's a lot of multiple names for the same demon.
Okay.
But they'll have slightly different origin stories. Like that's why I was showing you the Lilith. I don't even know. I don't even know all the different Lilith backgrounds because there's like 12 to 16 of them.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because Satan is the father of confusion and lies. Yeah. So it's like what they would do. Yeah.
Like the Lord of the Flies. I can't remember how to say that name correctly. Lvozaleth or something like that. I can't pronounce the name, but it's a fly demon or the god of flies, right? But it's also used for Satan. So you have Lucifer, you have Satan, and then whatever other names they use.
Right.
So
okay, thank you.
Baal is also another name that's used for Satan too sometimes, and so is Moloch. So the next thing I'm getting is I want to talk a little bit about religions and how they're in our. I mean, I talked about the United States, and I talk about these other demons and all this other stuff in U.S. culture. Another example is what you're seeing here is we all know this image is, Baal, we talk about the Moses when he came back down and they're worshiping the false idol, the golden calf.
Right.
Yeah. So if you guys are familiar with the Mormon church, this is what's inside their temple.
What?
Really?
Yeah. And it's a golden bull, right? And sometimes Baal is a bull, sometimes it's a female, but usually it's represented as a bull most of the time. And it's gold, obviously. This is Mormons say this represents the 12 tribes of Israel. But I just want to show you that to me, it's a weird correlation that you have gold bulls in their temple.
That's interesting. I've never seen that before.
And Beau, you saw, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but you saw Quinn's video and he did look up the 13 bloodlines and the Epstein files on the website. And it did mention the Mormon. And Russell. So this connection is not like it's not conspiracy. I mean, I believe in this like 100%.
And I know that some of our viewers are probably wondering why we're talking about this stuff tonight, since we are the Unrelenting Political Corner.
Yeah.
But this is kind of stuff that you probably need to at least know about because it has a direct effect on world politics.
There's nothing more about politics than this. Once you learn about why they're doing what they're doing, Epstein makes sense.
Yep.
And I'll talk a little bit about Epstein a little bit later and what he's doing. Because what was Epstein's bank account called? Baal. You think there's a reason why? Of course there is.
Wow. Okay. So
I don't know how much time we have, but I'll just tell you. So,
dude, we got. I don't have to get
we
off
got all night.
Okay.
Yeah. I got all night.
Okay, so the next thing, now that you guys know the origins of where the Nephilim come from, now I wanted to explain what they're doing with them and not modern times, but biblical times. So if you guys know about King Solomon, right? And this is the occult tradition of King Solomon. So your audience member was talking about the Book of Jubilee, was talking about that evil entity, Mastema.
Yeah.
So Mastema is supposed to be like either like a high-ranking commander of demons or is Satan himself. So it's another name for Satan.
Oh, okay.
So the idea behind the Book of Jubilee, though, is they say that when Cain was murdered by Abel, that the earth was tainted. And you remember I was talking about the fairies and stuff? There's a theory that some of the spiritual creatures that did stuff around the earth or part of the earth network were basically poisoned by this defiling of the earth and bringing sin into the system. So that could be another origin for the fairy things. But personally, I think that they're Nephilim children that have more human DNA. But that's just my opinion. So demons are dead. Nephilim is the belief system of ancient Jews.
Okay.
So Mastema, which is basically Satan, pleads with God during the flood to leave 10% of the demons. So this isn't in the Bible, and I'm not saying that this is true or not, but the Bible says that there were there, and then the flood came and they're still around, right? We've all read that verse if you're familiar with it. That this is kind of an explanation. Usually, apocrypha writings are explaining the gaps of the Bible.
Okay.
So if you're familiar with King Solomon, King Solomon built God's temple, and we know that he had 500 wives. And if you're familiar with that story, the legendary view of the occultic view, which is a Jewish, Islamic, and later European occult traditions, is that he was a master sorcerer. So God blessed him with wisdom, right? So wisdom and knowledge. Because he had the wisdom and knowledge, he knew spells and rituals and their belief system. And I'm not saying that this is true or not. That that the archangel Michael, which we all know from our religion, the archangel Michael is supposed to be, right?
Yeah.
So think about this. So he binded 72 spirits, which are called in this ring, the spiritual ring that binds demons. It's called the Ars Goetia, and I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but the whole point of it is he used it to build the temples. Freemasons use that ring is out of respect for King Solomon's ring, which is the Goetia. That's why they have it, and that's why they do it, and they have it. They believe that they get power from that ring, just like Solomon.
Okay, so let me ask, I know this sounds probably elementary question. When you're talking about this, he used the ring to build the temple. So was he getting the knowledge?
Demons.
Okay.
He binded 72 demons, and he was making so each demon,
right.
I'll explain a little more. It's a little further down, but each demon has its own spell and abilities. So the reason why religions pray to different demons is because they want different things. Each one does something different, and that's the belief that the occult has. That's why the occult will pray to multiple demons, because each demon has its own thing that it gives them. It's its own contract, basically.
Wow. Okay.
So if you want to learn, and some of the 72 demons, some of the things their abilities are just really like mundane and stupid. Like one of them has something to do with frogs. So they're not all like super great powers. And then he only stopped at 72 because he felt it was not necessary. Now the next thing,
that number, hold on, sorry. That number is interesting, because what do the Muslims believe? That if they die, they go to heaven and get 72 virgins.
Yeah, that's where it comes from.
Really?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll tell you right now, I 72 demons, and then the Muslims 72, I believe is associated with this. I call it satanic belief system.
Okay.
No, I totally agree. They worship another demon that talked to Muhammad or whatever. Let me ask you. Okay, so this King Solomon thing, where are you getting this about King Solomon?
It's coming from the ancient text that the Jews written. So your apocrypha writings about him. Also, the Islamic writings talk about it, and then there's later European writings too. So there's a lot of different sources that talk about this stuff.
Okay. Go ahead.
So now I'm going to be honest with you. The Bible talks about King Solomon and how he started practicing rituals with his 500 wives, and God took, I think it's 16 of his provinces away and left him just one, if I remember the story correct.
Yes, he punished Solomon.
Yeah, so I can't say if this is true or not, because the Bible actually says that he was doing stuff and paying tribute to God. So there might be some truth in some of these stories.
Yeah, because didn't he like fall off the deep end towards the end of his life?
Yeah, and his son tried to murder him. His whole house fell apart. He almost lost everything, and he redeemed himself at the end.
Okay.
So that's the story of King Solomon. So he fell from grace, and then he was forgiven by God at the end.
Ooh, is that a video that could be?
Okay.
Yeah, this is just a video that was talking about the different demons. I just took a screenshot of it.
I'm gonna write that. Hang on, I'm gonna write that down.
King Solomon, 72 demons. And this video's from where?
Looks like YouTube.
It's just from YouTube. I just grabbed the screenshot because it was talking about the 72 demons. I just wanted more than just my little apocryphal writing thing up there.
All right, cool.
Okay, so the next thing I'm going to get to, and this is going to be offensive to those of you who were Jehovah's Witnesses and former Jehovah's Witnesses. And before I continue with this part, I just want people to understand that Jehovah's Witnesses don't know what their leadership is doing, and they're not actively practicing these things. Only the very, very high ups know what they're doing. Every single one of these is a ritual that was learned from the occult from King Solomon, supposedly.
Okay.
All right. So the first one is Jehovah's Witnesses. You know the memorial practice they do? It's a satanic ritual called the Black Mass. So most people know what this is, and they refuse the blood of Christ and the bread that represents his flesh, and that's why it's this is literally literally Satanists practice the exact same thing that Jehovah's Witnesses are doing. And then they add additional things to like to defile the cracker and the blood, and they do horrible, horrible things.
Okay.
So the next thing is what Jimmy, we were talking about, the 72 demons, what they do. So when you pray to the demons, when you do the terrible things they do, which are called iniquities to children and stuff, they're basically energizing the demon to get whatever ability it has. And this is the Gotia ritual. So the Gotia ritual, you're going to energize the demon to pray for money, wealth, whatever they're asking for. When you're doing that process, the two witness rule is an example. It's part of the sacrificial ritual. So if you know the shepherding book, shepherding the flock of God, and the pedophilia stuff in there and the two witness rule, if you've ever noticed, like for an example, this woman here was she's a professor that was defending Jehovah's Witnesses and making up shit that was completely not true, trying to defend them. There was also the Australia Royal Commission hired, I can't remember the woman's name, but she has dark hair, and I watched the actual trial, and she was hired to investigate Jehovah's Witnesses to see if they had child care services. She said that they didn't and lied about the process of elders taking kids, door to door and all that stuff. She was found lying in court and got caught by the lawyer that was representing the former Jehovah's Witness victims. The Australia Royal Commission literally has this woman hired by the Catholic Church lying and making false documents and was caught.
Wow.
So another example is this is a YouTuber named Dario Wilberg.
I remember him.
Yeah, he's a cunt. So when I first started with this stuff, I didn't know who he was, and he reached out to me, and I was sharing. He's acting like he was wanted to know what I have. I stupidly, when I first started this stuff, I didn't know anything. I gave him a bunch of stuff about the child molestation stuff. This guy actually made videos and told people, and this is really stupid, that I was a child molester. And then the people that he said I raped them when I was a baby.
What?
Yeah, and I hate this cunt. And I complained to YouTube about him, and they would not take anything down. We had to go as far as
that's slander.
Wow.
Yeah, and they would not do nothing. That YouTube was 100% on his side, and that's when I realized that there was something going on there. Again, I said this is the very beginning stages of me learning about all this occult crap. I didn't know nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, no, obviously the sacrifice ritual I was just talking about. This is obviously the shepherding the flock of God. This was used as evidence against them. It talks about the two witness rule and all that nastiness that they do. I don't need to go too far into that. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the ritual of the abyss. This is a satanic ritual, and this is the guy who made this thing. It's more of a recent thing, and it's a mind control technique, and it's designed to remove the ego. And then I obviously have a little clip here of Jehovah's Witnesses talking about removing the ego. They learned this from Alistair Crowley. Now, there are other church organizations that also learn this and use this. So another example, so this removing of the ego for brainwashing it's not, Alistair Crowley is the most modern version of this, and it's referred to as great works. And then obviously, if you know Jehovah's Witness literature, great works is all throughout their stuff.
Yeah.
This guy, Alistair Crowley, Jonas Grieber.
Really?
Yeah.
It's not surprising.
So here, I just blew this up so people wanted to see it because I know the other part was kind of small. But if you look up great works, you'll see that it involves magic, yoga, and the definition they try to tell you. This is really funny, but I understand how they're altering things. So Alistair Crowley is well known for having brainwashing techniques. This, if you read the definitions behind them now, they've altered them and say that it's not really brainwashing. Right here,
Right.
but it's magic and spiritual techniques aimed at achieving personal transformation.
Yep. And they're always going in and changing history, and that's why they want everything to go digital and destroy old works, is because they can change the digital stuff anytime they want to.
Yeah, then they don't want the old writings because people like me and Jimmy and you guys are going to see this stuff and recognize it.
Yep.
So Alistair Crowley, he also taught, if you guys know Jonas, if you guys know Jehovah's Witnesses, and if you're familiar with Scientology, he's the one who created and helped R. Ron Hubbard create his Scientology.
Yeah, okay.
So the three of them are using the same brainwashing techniques. And that's why if you've ever seen documentaries about Scientology, and they're extremely familiar to Jehovah's Witnesses.
Do what, Ruby? Where'd Ruby go?
I don't know.
Ruby,
I'm glitched.
You're glitching.
Okay.
All right.
So this is the book. So if you're a member of Jehovah's Witnesses, and remember before I was talking about the downloading process that demons use?
Yeah.
The reason I mentioned that is for this. So Jehovah's Witnesses were using this guy's belief systems as well as other churches. Everything that Jehovah's Witnesses have is stolen from other religious groups. But one of the things that's really interesting is if you go and read the book from this guy, which is called The Spirit Words, they found out that he was a occultist later on, and he admitted 5 or 6 different belief systems that demons taught him. And those belief systems are in the Masonic Bibles. And that's why Jehovah's Witnesses Bible is said to be a Masonic Bible. So the Paradise on Earth policy systems and strange JW beliefs, the Paradise on Earth, these things all come from this guy and the other occult groups. Jesus died on the stake. Jesus is Michael the Archangel. Only 144,000 go to heaven. Jesus is not the Son of God and not part of the Trinity. The Trinity doesn't exist, and Jesus created everything. Jesus is God's first creation. These all came from a demon.
Oh, hey, Beau, you want to just clarify for the record, 4 was Jesus is the Son of God and not part of the Trinity.
Yeah, Jesus is the Son of God and not part of the Trinity. So that's a belief system that Jehovah's Witnesses have, is what I was trying to say. They don't believe in the Trinity, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so the Watchtower adopted all of this stuff from this dude, basically.
Yeah, well, from him and other resources. But what I'm saying is this guy is quoted in Jehovah's Witness literature.
Right.
And these are the belief systems that he had that came from the occult.
Okay.
So he was an occultist, is what I'm trying to get at.
Yes.
One of the things I want to talk about, though, is that you can take this with a grain of salt, but one of the things that exorcists have said is that one of the ways you can tell if someone is demon possessed is that they'll get a teaching from an angel, that is an angel of light, that contradicts the Bible. And that's a really common thing. And I thought that's pretty interesting because Mormons have that, and Jehovah's Witnesses, Charles Taze Russell, all have the same thing.
Wow. Okay.
So, and then this is just an example, is a lot of people don't realize this, but the predicting the end of the world is an occult practice.
Why does that not surprise me?
Yeah. So, and then the reason I put this on here is Acts 5:3-8 specifically tells you that if somebody predicts the end of the world or tells you a false prophecy, you're to have nothing to do with them. So Jehovah's Witnesses, in their own literature, it tells them that they're not supposed to follow anyone who's predicted the end of the world.
Hang on a second. I'm going to go pull my Jehovah's Witness Bible real quick.
There's also I'll wait for Jimmy to come back, but there's also more than one verse that talks about this. Like there's verses that talk about if someone predicts the end of the world that you should stone them and things like that. I've done videos about it, but I think they were on my original channel that Watchtower shut down.
You know, it surprises me that I can still find stuff in here.
Yeah.
But 36 and 38. Okay, 36 and 38.
Would you mind reading it out
Yeah.
loud and see if it matches? Because this is the NASB of 1995.
Okay, so God, I feel like I'm giving a comment at a Watchtower. Acts 5, Acts chapter 5, verse 36 through 38 reads, "For instance, before these days, Thaddeus rose, saying he himself was somebody, and a number of men, about 400, joined his party, but he was done away with, and all those who were obeying him were dispersed and came to nothing. After him, Judas the Galilean rose in the days of the registration, and he drew off people after him, and yet that man perished, and all those who were obeying him were scattered abroad. And so, under the present circumstances, I say to you," oh my God, "do not meddle with these men, but let them alone, because if this is a scheme or this work is from men, it will be overthrown."
Yep. So Jehovah Witnesses literal Bible says that you should not listen to their leadership.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah. So that reason I put this in there is because if you are a Jehovah Witness, I just want you to understand that I'm not attacking you. I'm telling you your own history, and that I am not saying that Jehovah Witnesses are satanic. I'm saying that the leadership, like a lot of other religions, are into the occult, and the members don't know. And I'm just using them as an example because I know this audience knows Jehovah Witnesses.
Well, that's giving them that invisibility thing we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm back, guys. So I missed the last 5 minutes. Don't worry. I'll watch it on the replay.
I'm sorry. I know you were saying something, but we couldn't understand you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want to warn the audience right now. This stuff, the next part. So I wanted you to understand the origins of demons and Nephilim. Then I wanted you to understand King Solomon and rituals and spells, to understand why the Nephilim and human trafficking go hand to hand in 2026. And I'll warn you guys, there's nothing graphic on here, but it's going to get nasty.
Yep.
Okay.
So if it bothers you and you are someone who can't handle this, then you should stop and not look at this. So Nephilim spells require 3 things: sex, or fluid, sex, semen, and blood. They need an altar and a thing called inequities. And I'll explain what each one is. So Nephilim spells, now obviously they're taking children. They want innocence, and they want the sex, semen, and blood for the rituals. We all know about Jeffrey Epstein. We know what he was doing. We know all the weird stuff that is coming out about them eating children and all this other crazy shit. I didn't put any of this in there because I'll be honest with you, I don't know how much of that stuff is, true or not when it comes to Epstein. So I tried to stay away from it. Well, I personally think it's true, but I don't know how much has been altered.
Let me add to, folks, Epstein's the big name out there, but there's other names of people out there that were doing the same thing he was doing, but they go under the radar. You want to look up Peter Nygaard, look him up, Nygaard, and Jean-Luc Brunel. Go look that dude up too. And Richard Branson, he's part of that. He's actually probably worse than Epstein was.
No, so that's the guy that's the billionaire guy from Virgin.
Yeah,
I think it was like Virgin Airlines or something like that.
Oh, what's the name of his plane? And
yeah,
thing?
okay, I get it.
Virgin?
But wasn't like, okay, hold on. Wasn't there like a phone company also named Virgin something?
Virgin Mobile.
Like yeah, it was a mobile, and then the airplane. Is that the same guy or?
I think so. Yeah, I know the plane is. I'm not sure about the phone, but.
Okay, well, that is a great example of.
I don't know about what you guys are talking about, to be honest.
But I'm just saying, there's more guys doing. There was more people doing this stuff than just Epstein.
Oh yeah. No, Epstein's he's just a normal, run of the mill member.
Yeah. So Okay.
So
Sorry.
what they do is now when we talk about an altar, now if you ever go camping or go places like deep in the forest, you find a house that's abandoned and stuff, and you find that there'll be usually a bed that doesn't have a sheet on it, and it's just a bed itself, and there's blood, urine, and stuff on it. That's usually a sign that it's an altar for satanic rituals.
Oh
Yeah.
snap,
So if
Jimmy.
you've ever been in the desert and you come across one of those places, you better be damn careful that you're not around it at night.
Hold on, pause. We gotta
Yeah.
So
go ahead, Jimmy, because I'm about to say something. Go ahead.
okay, cool. So remember when they found tunnels in New York in the Jewish area?
Yo, that's what I was just about to say, Jimmy. That's why I had to stop it. I was like, stop the show right now. Do you guys remember when they pulled the whole freaking wall off in their
If you see drug houses, a lot of times drug houses, they have beds with no sheets on them, and then there's feces and other things on the beds. That's why. And I can tell you right now, like a lot of drug dealers are into the occult, obviously.
Yeah, yo, but that is insane, Jimmy, because remember that photo went everywhere and everybody was talking about this, and you say all the time how these moments are for the awakening. It is to wake people up. And I cannot believe that Beau just brought that up. Wow, that is crazy. Quick question for you, Beau, from Julian. Are you familiar with Angels and Demons book from their early JW history? Governing body member Sam Hurd has quoted it.
I'm not.
Okay, so yeah, let's write that down for some homework.
Yeah, Julian, you have to get a title for us, buddy.
If it's a Joe Witness thing, I wonder if it's going back to the original stuff. Like it was, I forgot what the name of it was called. The original writings, because it wasn't Joe before. It was Watchtower. It had a different name.
Right. Zion's, Zion's.
Zion's Watchtower, something like that.
Okay, so we'll put a pin on that.
With that.
Okay, Beau, go ahead. Your presentation is back up.
Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about, the inequities are a lack of justice, violence, rape, incest, crime, drugs, all these things. Now, I don't know if this will play right, but I have so I was talking a couple of videos ago with you guys when I was talking about that blonde girl named Elle. And I said I don't really understand what that was. And I was trying to research it. So, and then there's a thing about the third generations, like these occultists abuse kids and they do a generational abuse because it makes their rituals stronger, is what they believe. And so generational trauma is really important. This is why they molest their own kids. And it's like a cultural thing with them. And if you ever wondered why Hollywood is obsessed with South Africa, and there's so many like movie star actresses that are blonde hair from South Africa, it's because South Africa is the largest occultic practicing continent on the world.
Really?
Yeah, I did not realize this. I kind of stormed into this. Which I'll kind of talk a little bit more about the generational trauma and stuff, but if you learn about the slave traders, it's like, for an example, this guy right here, this king, he was an occult worshiper, and literally whenever one of his king, Gizo, whenever one of them would die and the other king would come, they would sacrifice thousands of slaves and then pour all their blood into a lake, a little lake of blood, and they would get on the canoe and then ride the canoe over it. So this kind of crap and this kind of like human torture and stuff still goes on in Africa to this day.
Yeah.
So if you've ever learned about South Africa and Africa, like about South Africa, and then Trump has been talking about them murdering Christians.
Yes.
So this is why, is because this is like the hot spot for the occult.
Wow.
And if you ever noticed that so many people that are in Hollywood think that South Africa is the greatest thing on earth.
Yeah.
They represent so most likely, this is a hypothesis, that probably all these people that are in Hollywood that are into the South Africa thing are probably Satanists. That's the theory.
Well, Mark Wahlberg is a question mark because he's supposedly Catholic, so that's interesting.
Yeah, well, the governing body is supposedly Christian.
Ruby, I'll just say I've seen Mark Wahlberg's name on some list that you wouldn't be happy with.
What?
Yeah, I don't know any of that. Do you guys know what the Black Pope is?
I've heard of it, but I don't know.
Yes, I do. But if I had to try to explain it right now, I couldn't.
Yeah, I wouldn't know.
I know about the Black Pope.
Yeah. So just to keep it really simple, this is coming from exorcists. Exorcists in the Catholic Church believe that towards the end of time, that a black pope, which will be an evil pope, will take over, and the Catholic Church will become so defiled that it no longer has like God's blessing anymore.
Okay.
And this is like a belief system that Catholics have. I'm not super educated on Catholic belief systems, so I'm only taking what
I tell you what,
exorcists are teaching.
I'm gonna write down a thing here that we can talk about later. Role of the Black Pope.
Yeah,
but isn't that like? I mean, it sounds similar to like what the Bible describes as the Antichrist, or is this different?
Yeah, and that's what that's basically what it is going to be.
Okay.
It's like the Antichrist. It's like part of the Antichrist, like revelation talk.
Okay.
Which I'm not super adequate at that particular subject.
Yeah, agreed. Okay.
So for those of you who are kind of on the outskirts about the Satanism in the United States and stuff, so if you guys know who Jordan Peterson is, if you ever heard the name Anton LaVey, he's the Church of Satan founder here in the United States, very popular with Hollywood. And this is a direct quote from his daughter. His followers do look up to him as like a kind of satanic Jehovah. So and they treat him in the same way.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah. So if you've ever heard, so there's another daughter of LaVey, which isn't her, and this is the confessionals. There's a minister that took in his daughter, and she, not this one that's with Jordan Peterson, but another daughter claimed that he did satanic rituals and abuse to her.
Wow.
What?
And sorry.
No, that's just that. It's just absolute crazy nastiness.
And I'll just go say, and allegedly can't prove it. Conspiracy theory. I guess you're going to put my hat back on. Look at the picture of Zena LaVey down there in the lower left-hand corner. What pop star does she look like?
Yes, I've heard this already. That Taylor Swift is
the Taylor Swift thing. Yeah. Now, like I said, take it for what it's worth, but yeah, they said.
And did you guys?
They have the same thing with Charlie Kirk's wife. There's some.
Yep.
Yeah. I saw that too. I don't know anything about any of that, to be honest with you.
All we're saying, folks, the reason is to keep your eyes open to this stuff. Now, we might not have the answers for everything, and we might be wrong on a point here or a point there. That's not the point of this whole thing that we're doing here. We're trying to get you to just open your eyes and look at, hey, there's a lot more stuff you can dig on.
Yeah. So I'll just, the only thing that I've been told about this, and you don't have to believe this, is that the reason that they try to look like these famous Satanists is there's some kind of ritual that's involved with that.
Right.
That they try to mimic them. Because I'll see a lot of atheists try to look like Anthony LaVey.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's true or not. I'll just tell you that's what a Grand Wizard told me. So you can take that with a grain of salt.
Wow. Okay.
And if you guys know what a Grand Wizard, I should probably explain what that is. That's like a high-ranking satanic member. Like basically like one of the priests. Sorry. And just so people know, I don't associate with the Church of Satan or anything. It was a Church of Satanist member who left, and then he discussed some of the things that he was involved in.
Wow. Yes. Okay. And also a quick addition, because Hollywood always has to tell us something, like Jimmy says, right? Now, the most recent movie with Demi Moore called The Substance, it came out in 2024. If you haven't seen it, see that movie. It literally kind of describes what Beau is talking about. It's like she injects herself and she makes a replica, like a clone. And that's what so watch that. I don't want to give any spoilers, but watch that movie. It's called The Substance with Demi Moore, and it came out in 2024. Okay, go ahead.
Wow. Okay, cool.
All right.
Yeah.
So the next thing I'm going to do is these are just some of the odd belief systems that the occult has and why they do the rituals they do and why they like some of the things they do. So satanic groups are called covenants. So if you guys are familiar with, God's covenant with man and all that kind of stuff. So a covenant
Yeah.
worships Nephilim or demons for miracles called blessings. So if you want money, you want fame, you're going to sacrifice your loved one. This is why a lot of people speculate that Hollywood's family members and firstborn children and stuff have these bizarre accidents.
Yep.
Is because they're doing this ritual.
Yep.
So covenant families do incest to keep the royal bloodlines from Cain. So remember I was talking about how the incest of the gods and stuff. They believe, well, they get more power with people with more of that in royal bloodline. So that's the 13 royal families of the Illuminati, which is down here on this list. But okay, covenants create inequities and bloodlines with generational trauma, the power source for the Nephilim magic. So the reason why religious groups do this and allow the two witness rule and other nasty, disgusting things is they believe that they're energizing these inequities so that they can get blessings from demons.
Wow.
The firstborn or third generation is really important to these Nephilim powers. Think of it as like a power cell, and it's part of their magic. That's the best way I can describe it. They're energizing the magic.
Like what they showed in Monsters Inc.
Yes, that's exactly. And actually demons feed off fear.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's that's a good one.
Really quickly, Beau, we have Gail on the stage. So Gail wanted to make a comment about your last slide. So Gail, go ahead.
Hi. I did a lot of extensive studying on Lavoie. Did you know that Susan Atkins, who murdered Sharon Tate, was involved with him?
I did not. I've heard a lot of stuff about him, and he's supposedly been involved in a lot of like deaths.
Well, I'm going
to
give you the link about her and how Sharon Tate's husband did a movie before he did Rosemary's Baby, did a devil movie with Sharon in it. And guess who was in it? Susan Atkins. Susan Atkins was involved with Lavoie. They would do, she'd pop out of a casket and they'd have a lot of orgies. And
the daughter talked about some of this.
She was very jealous of Sharon Tate.
Okay.
And that's probably why she brutally murdered her. Like she did, because she had known her prior. And a lot of movie stars hung around with him. Actually, they say Jane Mansfield asked him to do a spell against her ex-husband. That's when she got in that horrific car accident. I don't know if there's a link, but she supposedly was decapitated, but that was a lie. She was pretty severed, but she hung around with him and she wanted him to do a couple of spells against her husband.
He was all over Hollywood back in the 50s and 60s.
And he claims he never believed in the devil, but please, he has a black house, was the Black Church of Satan in California.
Yeah, his daughter has come out and said that he absolutely believed these things.
I listened to her. He did you know who Michael Aquino is?
No.
Yes, Aquino.
Aquino?
Yeah.
He's into the mind control. He's the one for the military that get involved with all that mind control.
Yeah.
I also listened to Kathy O'Brien wrote a book, Father of the Lies, in 2011. Now, I forgot about this, but you might remember this. A lot of the child cares that were going on in the United States back in 1968 and 69, there was a lot of sexual abuse and sacrificing children in these daycares. And there was a lot of them across the country back in 68 and 69. And I think one daycare center was brought up to court for all their abuse and trafficking of these children. But it's been going on since 68 and 69. Wow. And also, Eyes Wide Shut is supposedly about Epstein. So they've known about Epstein since 1991 because Stanley Kubrick, that was this movie, was all about him and all the stuff that they went on with sacrificing children. And 6 days later, he dies, and they took 24 minutes out of his movie because they didn't want people to see it.
Yeah.
So So Epstein goes way back, and guess who they're saying is going to take over Jeffrey Epstein? Are you ready? Jared Kushner.
I never trusted that dude.
I don't either. They say he's the Antichrist. Yeah, he's making that high tech.
He can't be the Antichrist. It's not possible.
No, I know, but he's supposed to usher in the Antichrist.
Yeah, because like the Antichrist is supposed to be somebody that is so like seems so good that they're able to convince Christians that.
Well, that's what this is gonna. Yeah. This is what this is gonna be about. He's gonna usher them in. This is what this whole peace and security all around the world is all about. Yeah. He's the on the board for the Peace Commission that's going on right now that Trump endorsed him with. But I'm going to just mention a little bit about the Bible, about Gaza. God does say no one's going to build on Gaza, and that's where he plans to build this high-tech billion conglomerate city that he's also building.
It's one of the smart cities.
Yes. Well, according to God's word, he said no one's going to inhabit that. Nobody. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Also a little more on the Bible, the hanging gardens. Saddam Hussein tried to duplicate the hanging gardens, but he couldn't do it. I wish I kept my Reader's Digest article, but I was in a fire. It had a whole article about the hanging gardens and how Saddam tried to rebuild it, but he couldn't.
Yeah. Would that be the hanging gardens of Babylon?
And Babylon, yes. Yes. So I just wanted to add that. And did you know that Barbara Bush is related to Alistair Crowley? And so is
no, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say earlier about Alistair Crowley.
You have to, there's an unbelievable biography on him. And it talks about Betty White and Barbara Bush being linked to him.
Don't you mean Barry Bush?
No, I just got, Barry Bush. Well, it's interesting because
Barbara Bush don't look like no woman. Sorry.
No, and she talks like a guy too. Just get that voice. But it all makes sense because Bush Senior was going to that Cas LD laws in Belgium, and he was also going to the what's the Bohemian Grove. So it all makes sense how they're all related.
Yep.
So, just really quickly, Joseph joined us, and then I want to go back to the presentation.
I just wanted to add that.
Yeah, thank you so much, Gail.
Oh no!
If you guys are wanting,
huh?
I was saying if you guys want information or you're going to give me information, so I can't see what you guys are typing or anything. If you put it in the comments later on, I can go back and research the things you guys are talking about.
Yeah, put it in the comments after the video.
Yeah, I would really, that because like
great
unfortunately
idea.
The way my system works, I can't see your guys' comments. I can't react to them.
Right.
Okay, write it down.
Acuno. You got to look this creep up. He's in the military, and he's into he's into brainwashing. Well, I think he's dead now, but he was into brainwashing the public.
Yep.
Ruby, do you allow people to put comments that have video links in your descriptions?
I don't know.
You can try. I mean, I don't know if it's me or if it's YouTube, but you can try it.
I was just gonna. Some people don't like that. I was just gonna see. If they have like a video that explains what they want to research, if they link it in there, maybe I could go back and look at it or something. Later.
Yeah. So if anybody wants to put it or try to put it, because I don't know if it'll go through, but you just do it. Just do it. Put it whatever you want in the chat.
Yeah, just put what it is though, and then put the link to it. And then I'll do my best to go back and maybe the next week or two I can go through and look at them and then do the research you guys are sharing with me.
Okay, great. So Gail, can you type it in the chat, and not the private one, but the public one, so that we could go back on YouTube and look at the public one.
What do you want me to type?
What all those names that you were mentioning? I think you mentioned one
Michael
like 5
Aquino.
minutes. Yeah, that one. Put it. Yeah, put it in the. Yeah, please put that in the chat.
Yeah, that'd be awesome because it makes it easier than me having to go back with the video and try to find the exact time you're talking and all that.
Okay.
Yep. Because you can Control F the transcript and it'll find it faster for you.
Yeah.
In the chat.
Oh boy.
Can we give Joseph a chance?
Yeah, Joseph, go ahead. You're here with us. Go ahead, Joseph.
Okay, I'm just talking about. I just wanted to talk about. Beau mentioned that Solomon had a ring that had he could command 72 spirits or demons.
It's supposed to be demons.
Yeah, he used that power according to the teachings of the Kabbalah, that to build a temple, he lifted up all the heavy blocks. They didn't have cranes back then, but he had demons to do his work. All
See,
the
that's what I was
heavy
getting
lifting.
to. Yeah, sorry,
Wow.
Joseph. That's what I was referring to when I talked about the power of the ring. Did he use the ring to help build
Yeah,
stuff
the
like
ring
that?
binded them. So the ring itself, like when you, like for example, Lord of the Rings, it's the one
Yeah.
ring that binds them
Yes,
all.
it's
Like you
bringing
see
so
this
many
kind of
vibes.
mythos about the ring having power. That's why
Mm-hmm.
Masonic people have that ring, and it's not like rings are the only thing. Like that other people bind demons to objects and stuff. It's
Right.
kind of the same idea. The binding spell supposedly came from him.
Okay. Sorry, Joseph. Didn't mean to interrupt you, sir. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No,
Go ahead, Joseph.
also too about Lilith. That is
Uh-huh.
also one of the teachings in the Kabbalah. The Kabbalah is a secret, high
Secret
theories
knowledge.
of Jewish rabbis that believe in the end times
Hmm.
and prophecies and secret codes within the
Mm-hmm.
Bible. That is the Hebrew Bible, and they're trying to decipher it, and you know, and it's for prophecy purposes.
Yep. And that's where we
Yeah.
get the word cabal from.
Yes, the
Mm.
Kabbalah.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, Bo. I'm gonna put your slide back up. There were
Okay.
some points here. You were up to the firstborn and third generation, and
No,
then the
he
next
was
one.
on Mark of Cain.
Okay,
Okay,
Mark
so the
of
Mark of
Cain. Go ahead.
Cain is a bloodline that gives demonic authority. So that's what they believe, and this is why the bloodlines are so important to the occult, is because the more of Cain's line that's there, the more authority they have for doing spells and rituals. The 13 royal
Um,
bloodlines are the Cain and Nephilim offspring ancestors. So the Illuminati, the 13 bloodlines we hear about, supposedly that's where that's coming from. And then this is a newer thing: is vampirism is a curse from God to Cain. Cain from the Bible is first vampire, first century BC. So the idea behind this, and this is really weird, is there's some movie that's about vampires and werewolves and like the
yep.
sparkly guy. I forgot what
Yep.
you call that.
Twilight.
Twilight.
Twilight. Okay, this is as weird as this sounds. Is Twilight and some of these other vampiric movies are based off these old writings.
Yep.
Yep.
So
Yep.
the idea is Cain's curse was being a vampire, and he had to live off blood. He couldn't be in the sun. It would weaken him. And then there was another trait, which I forgot what it was. So I put this Children of Cain, a vampire thing, just because it's a big thing. Like there's all kinds of vampire books about Cain. And I'm not really a big vampire movie watcher person. So I was like, oh, this is kind of weird.
Oh, I got obsessed with Twilight and Vampire Diaries and a whole bunch of other TV shows and movies
So
like that. So
with that being
I'm in the
said,
lore.
is this true? Is what I'm seeing? Do they talk a lot about the line of Cain and stuff
Well,
with
that's
these
the thing.
movies?
That's the first that I've heard about this. So I'm gonna have to dig a little deeper and make the connections from this day forward because I knew all about like the book, like
Hmm.
the fiction, like the movie lines and stuff like that, and like how you said the characteristics of them. I've never heard that this had any connection to Cain. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to do
so these
research.
writings or whatever, the vampire hierarchy, how they make them and all that kind of stuff, and their structure of the old vampires being more powerful than the newer ones and all that stuff that we see in typical vampire stuff. Like the only thing I remember of vampires is Buffy the Vampire Slayer, just so you guys all know.
Yeah.
And so that stuff I was like, oh wait a minute, that's in these old writings. So okay,
Wow.
but anyway, so
What?
Cain was taught magic by the demon Lilith. That's also one of these belief systems.
Okay.
So
But
Cain's
can I say something real quick? Sorry.
sure.
About the vampire stuff. Just look at the social setting and
Hmm.
how they pushed, or the mainstream media, movies, TV shows, they were pushing this whole stories of vampires, making it cool. Everybody wanted to be watching Twilight or whatever. And then, of course, you have the folks that call themselves goth, the goth kid.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
It was designed to make look cool or edgy or, oh, I'm against the man or whatever. But they were like doing this stuff, following this stuff. Yeah. It's just interesting how it permeated society like it did.
Well, they wanted
well,
to
that's Hollywood.
It.
Exactly. Yeah. I was just about to say that. That's Hollywood's way of normalizing it to the masses, so that society can think of it as cool or whatever. But when you really dig deep into it, then you start realizing how satanic these things are.
Yep.
Well, you remember when we were young, when we went to the movies, sometimes we came home and we tried to play like these characters we saw in the movie.
Yep.
So these movies do have a psychological effect on the populace.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, they're all designed that way. Like, I won't say the name, but I knew a Hollywood director.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him about some of this weird stuff one time. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying I have a good relationship or know this person really well. And he said, the only thing he said to me was, it's worse than you think.
Yeah, I believe him.
Yeah, I believe that. I believe
him. Yeah.
I heard that comment too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, so that's about as far as Hollywood goes that I could go. I don't know anyone in movie stars really or anything.
Yeah. Okay. Now the next one. Go ahead, Beau.
So Cain was taught magic by the demon Lilith. This is also written in some of those apocryphal writings. Cain's bloodline will make the antichrist. That's the other reason why they want to keep it as pure as possible. And then the other thing is, this is something that Mormons believe, is that Cain is alive today.
That's crazy.
He's an immortal that still walks around today.
I heard that the other day. I was like, what?
Yeah, that's part of his curse.
Well, if they believe he's a vampire, then you can't kill them, right?
Yeah.
If I don't know how this works, but if I play a video, will the audience be able to hear it?
You have to share your screen to that specific tab, and then when I pull it up, it'll play.
To that specific tab?
Right. So stop sharing what you're sharing, and then hold on.
Yeah.
Did you guys hear it?
Oh, there's that.
Try again. Press play.
Hit play.
I can't get it to play now. Let me shrink it down.
There you go.
Volume.
Yeah. See if you can switch your headset to your headphone, your computer, not your headset.
Like inside what? I don't think this is gonna work.
This sucks. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bother with that. It's gonna take too much time.
Yeah.
Anyways, so the whole reason I put that whole thing, and I was gonna play that part. This is a preacher. This is somebody who deals with the occult, and he goes around to different countries and he saves kids.
Yeah.
Okay. And that blonde hair, blue-eyed thing that I was talking to you guys about, he's the one that was talking about it. And he said that all around the world, you would find the blonde hair, blue-eyed kids from South Africa, and they would do the same satanic ritual to them. And he said, and all over the world. And remember, I showed you at the very beginning, the Nephilim, about the blonde hair, blue-eyed children,
right?
And how they're offsprings of the Fae. Now he says that he doesn't know exactly why they're doing it. I have a theory that it's because they're children of the Fae. That there's something about blonde hair and blue eyes that might be associated with Fae blood. It's a theory. I'm not saying it's correct.
Yeah,
I just thought.
It
dawned on me when I started learning about the Fae and the occult, and I went, "Oh, wait a minute!" And remember, he talks specifically about the women, and then I went, "Well, okay, well, think about this." Blonde hair and blue-eyed women. It's been known that that's the most attractive to any male race. And that's a really bizarre thing if you think about it, because like Black, Asian, usually you're attracted to things that you're used to seeing.
Right.
Blonde hair and blue eyes is very rare. And the idea behind it is males find them more approachable. They find them that they should be able to impregnate them easier. That's what biological. That's what, from a biological standpoint, that's what they've found.
Yeah.
And I thought that that's
Yeah.
really bizarre.
But you know, the whole woke stuff with the white supremacy and this whole
Yep.
like social
I was
war
just about to
against,
say this.
yeah, like that's what brought me to that, because it's like they
Yeah.
want to spread so much racism, but towards white people, like especially blonde and blue eyed.
It's because the people have picked up on this and it's coming out. So now they're trying to hide it. And they're going to extremes to try to hide it.
Yeah.
Because think about that. Like, that's a really bizarre thing that people are talking about now. And then now this is starting to come out. And then what happens? We get the woke. White people are terrible. Don't listen to anything white people say.
Yeah.
We don't care
Yeah.
about white people.
Yeah.
They're hiding something, and I speculate that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't okay? This is going out there a little bit. This is going into the alien realm right here. But aren't the Palladians blonde hair and blue eye?
I when it comes to the different alien races, I don't know what all the different names are and stuff. I don't remember them.
Okay.
But there is a like 10 or 11 feet tall Viking looking white skin, white hair race that's supposed to be on the side of good.
I wonder if that's Palladians. I can't remember. All right. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
Okay. Yep.
Okay, so the next thing I want to talk about is the LGBTQP movement. So,
what's P?
Pedophile.
Oh.
So if you remember in California, they tried to put the LGBTQ in there.
Yes.
And they tried to add P there, and then the people erupted and were pissed about this.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Because they were trying to say minor attracted persons is what it stands
Yeah,
for.
map. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I just want to point this out, that the thing about the inequities, and then remember when you were talking about how they look alike, Taylor Swift and the Satanic Leader.
Yep.
So there's an image there. The fall of Satan is pride. So the reason why these people are using pride and using that title all the time is because it's a mockery of God.
Yep.
Okay.
And then this right here, it says Legion. So Legion refers to themselves in first person. That's where pronouns are coming from. These are all verses that you can look up about pronouns.
Yep.
So demons refer to themselves in third person pronouns. This is why this is being taught in our schools. So if you guys, I luckily my kids are growing up. I don't have to deal with this shit. But for you people who have kids, oh my gosh, I don't know how you deal with this. But all this LGBTQ stuff they're teaching kids is insane.
Yep.
And the reason why I'm talking about this is I personally believe, and this is my hypothesis, my thought, whatever, that the occult has taken over the school systems. And I believe the school boards are pretty much all Satanists anymore because of all the shit they're putting out there. And the thing I wanted to point out is, like, remember Jimmy was talking about the vampire goth kids? Hardcore Satanists do not look like that. The actual high-ranking Satanists look clean cut, and you wouldn't be able to tell who they are. Every one of these women on here have sex with children.
Yep. Teachers.
Yep.
Wow.
And so it's not just men. This is women too. And this is the thing is I know quite a few people that were in the lesbian side. I don't honestly know a whole lot of gay men, but lesbian women were telling me that this child abuse problem is horrific in the lesbian culture, but you can't talk about it. Now, I'm not saying if that's true or not. I don't really know. I'm only basing off what they are telling me, but based on what I'm seeing and what we see in courts and schools, I don't find it to be off. And I want to give an example of all this disgusting shit that we're seeing with all these kids. Oh, no, these are kindergartners learning about sperm, sex, and blowjobs.
Yep.
Like, this stuff is, in my opinion, is absolutely satanic, and the whole point is to groom the children.
Yep.
So the best example of this is Satan himself, Newsom.
Oh my word.
And he tried passing a law called SB 145, which protects child molesters. So
that's insane.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you look this law up, it tells you the exact opposite. It says this has nothing to do with this, and it gives you all these excuses. If you read I was about to cuss, the damn law, it specifically puts a 10-year gap, allowing for a 20-year-old male to sleep with a
Yes.
10-year-old child.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And I
We
remember
talked about that.
bringing this up. Yeah, I brought this up when I was doing like XJW content. And
Mhm.
that did, I mean, it did pass, if I'm not mistaken. So in the state of California, that is a law. As long as and that's what's crazy is the 10-year gap. So that begs the question. So if there's a 20-year-old, what are you gonna say then with that 10-year gap?
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that. There's no justification for that, because now you're talking about a 10-year-old.
Yeah, they're absolute disgusting monsters. Now, one of the things that you can take this grain of salt, but people who are possessed, supposedly, and this is what I've been heard or people have told me, is that they will do things to harm people around them that don't make any sense. And so you think about like Governor Newsom, like right before we're going into summer, he drains all the water supplies and just stupid shit like that, which causes insane harm to everyone and the whole state caught on fire. Like I don't think that those things are on accident. I think those things are done intentional, and I think that these people are being pushed by possession to do insane things.
Definitely. I agree.
So,
sorry.
Nope, go ahead.
I wanted to clarify something on this law that was passed in California, just real quick, because we like to fact check each other. The current law in place for decades permits judges to decide whether a man should be placed on California's sex offender registry if he had voluntary intercourse with someone 14 to 17 years old and was no more than 10 years older than that person. But that discretion only applied to a man who had vaginal intercourse. The new change permits judges to use that same discretion when the case involves voluntary oral or anal sex. The measure won't apply when a minor is under 14, when the age gap is larger than 10 years, or when either party says the sex wasn't consensual.
Thank you for that clarification. So it has to do with the registry. So whether or not they get on that registry, right? Like what level they're at, depending on the crime.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Perfect. Thank you, Jimmy.
Yeah, appreciate that. You know what's interesting is I read the law and it had the 10-year thing. I wonder if because I know when they were trying to pass it, I didn't know they passed it. I thought this was actually refused.
Oh no, it definitely passed.
So I wonder if it was revamped and then resent back out and passed.
Well,
I would have to go back because I remember having it on my phone. But anyways,
and the only reason why I knew about this was because of Jennifer here, and she's in the chat. She says, plus the tier system gets them off the registry after a certain amount of years. I always warn parents in California. So thank you to Jennifer, because she was initially the one who told me this a while back, almost 3 years ago when I first started my channel, and I was talking about this type of stuff. So California is, in my opinion, one of the most dangerous states to have children.
Oh yeah, I've heard so many horror stories from people dealing with California.
Yeah,
I would never go there.
And the sad thing is the deep state has been using California and New York as a template of what they want all of America to look like.
Absolutely not. And this is why Florida has a champion of doing the exact opposite. That's why I loved when DeSantis said recently that he said, I'm paraphrasing, but he said, I only have to look to California and New York and just do the exact opposite.
Exactly.
And I was like, thank you, DeSantis. Like, literally, politicians, that's why it's so important to vote and to really get to know these people, because you could literally have Newsom. And you know what I'm saying? Like, it's really dangerous out here. Okay.
Or you guys?
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. So the next thing, these are pedophile symbols. So one of the things that's a ritual thing that pedophiles do is they put the symbols into stuff, and they do this everywhere, all over the place. So this is just some really big examples. So the little swirly symbol is for boy lovers, right? I accidentally came across this. This symbol is on archaeological digs for the Fae.
Oh.
I found that out like a few days ago. I was watching something that had nothing to do with that. It was just like an archaeological dig on one of these, elven gold, and then I saw that symbol at one of the sites. And I went, "Oh my gosh, I recognize that!" And obviously, you see it in Avatar, Last Airbender. It's in just about everything. You see these symbols all over the place.
Yep.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about is so we got an idea of what's all going on, and then all parties are involved with this. It's way more spread than anything. This is honestly just a list of some Republicans. Most of these people on this list are Democrats. I didn't put all of them on here. I just wanted to make a list so I could get my point across. I'm not going to read all this stuff. It'll take forever. But I actually have 3 pages of these people on my phone.
Yep.
And some of them, I mean, like there's this one right here. The Dem Party leader, Stephanie Sebro, child porn images. He had 500,000 images.
Wow.
And then we see, like, here's just the ages of these people doing this stuff. 2 years old, 6, 6-year-old, 14, 16, 16, 6-year-old, 17, 6. 14, 4, or that's 4 counts. 11-year-old boy, 12-year-old girl, 16. These are all leaders in our government.
Can I interject for a minute?
Sure.
Yes. Welcome back, Gail. Go ahead.
Okay. Sophia and Caleb, the 2 characters that the JW org uses. Well, I kept seeing butterflies over, and I'm like, what the hell's with the butterflies? So I went on the FBI.
This one right here.
I went on the FBI website, and I said, do pedophiles use symbols? And they come up with the chart that you just showed, the squirrely thing. And on his bedroom, Caleb's had the squirrely thing on the bedpost.
Yep.
And little Sophia, she had butterflies everywhere on the back of a book, on her pen. And then
Quinn Wright did a whole video.
Yeah.
Yes. Seen it?
But I saw that way before. I saw that a long
video.
time ago before Quinn. I told Quinn, I said, you got to go on the FBI website and see this for yourself.
Yeah.
And then on the wall, they got that. It's called Macho. What's it? Macho Pizza.
Macho. Yeah, that's a place where they sacrifice children.
Yeah.
Well, they got that on her bedroom wall, right in front of your face. It's right in your face on the wall. A huge picture. In Sophia's bedroom. So they're not hiding who they are. I'm sorry, I just wanted to interject because the symbols made me think of them.
No, and that's what I was saying earlier, that this is like the satanic aspect of this. It is a ritual that they do, that they show themselves. They always show themselves. It's like a habitual thing. Now, I don't know if it's a ritual that they do, or if it's something that they're pushed to do that's divine, or if it's just something because of the psychotic aspect of demons themselves. Like, whatever you want to go with, that's fine with me. But it's just whatever it is, they do this and they show themselves, and it's like they can't help themselves. Like all these movies that are based on real events that are made, and then the real event happens.
Yeah,
like the train wreck that was on Netflix.
Yep.
Like it tells you exactly how they did it and all this stuff. Like there's so many of these that
I haven't seen that. What do you mean? It's called the train wreck.
I don't know what. No, there's a movie about a train wreck in a certain city, and then chemicals are spilled. The government covers it up, and then the exact same thing happened during.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the movie.
Oh,
and you know, and they're
Yeah.
real sneaky how they do it. I watched a thing about products that have, say, witchcraft symbol on them, especially with makeup. And I'm like, I threw up a few things. I didn't know it was
well.
Was it
do you know where makeup comes from?
No.
Sorry, I'm gonna ruin this for all you ladies, but makeup came from a certain fallen angel.
Really?
Yeah. I think.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I know of this. I don't know if it was through you or maybe I saw like a YouTube video or something. But yeah, that came from. Oh, like when you said that they gave us knowledge. I think that was one of the things. It was like the makeup came from a fallen.
Oh wow. Now, so they mentioned Sephora products too, which I was really surprised to hear that. And Starbucks coffee, the symbol on their coffee.
Oh yeah, that'll be the next thing I show you guys.
Yeah. Okay, let me pull you
that
back
part.
up. Oh, and before we do move on, in regards to the JW stuff, this is not conspiracy. I just want to like clarify. Those symbols are not conspiracy. It literally came from an official document stating what it means. It is not a conspiracy that the JWs have had rampant CSA issues, and all of this symbolism, it tracks for them. This is not something to be shocked about. Once your eyes are opened and you realize what has happened, and that's what happened with the ARC, that tracks for them. That's how we know that they are false, that they are evil. Like you just have to wake up to that. It is not a conspiracy. Okay, go ahead.
I appreciate that.
Thank you. That's true. Thank you.
All right. Let me know when you're ready.
Yep, we're ready. Go ahead. I got you.
Okay, so I wanted to end this part because it's disgusting. Just to remind people not to harm these people, not to be evil like they are. Let the police take care of them. So I put Romans 12:21. Do not overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. I just wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you.
All right, so now we're going to get into symbolisms, which is one of the things everybody was waiting for. So we have CERN, right? You guys, I'll just be really quick because I know it's getting late. So
is there anything out there that's sacred? Anything out there?
No. So CERN is obviously there is a situation where they have lots of occult behavior out there. So if you're familiar with certain like gods, so this is a Hindu god. They were caught doing a ritual where they're supposedly pretending to sacrifice somebody, and then someone in the media caught them. So real quick, people believe that CERN is actually the Temple of Babel being rebuilt to create a portal to second heaven. So I'll just and so if you've ever wondered why at CERN they're praising demons, that might explain it. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the occult. So the occult is everywhere. A lot of people don't realize that the Nazi Party was a satanic occult. They used satanic images. They used and did rituals all the time. And that the Nazis actually wanted to make a pagan-based society after they won. So Ukraine, for those of you who are Jehovah's Witnesses, you probably already heard about this, but I'm just going to say it. One of the things that Russia did is they took over a kingdom hall, and they found that the Jehovah's Witnesses were sending money to neo-Nazi parties.
Oh my word. Hold on. That just went totally left field. That is great. Okay, hold on. But to be fair, Ukraine does have a lot of neo-Nazi people.
They have entire regiments that are neo-Nazis, like entire regiments of their military.
Right, but we know that about them is what I'm saying. Like that's just who they are. I mean, so this might have two and two together.
Yeah, so the whole thing about this is the only reason I'm talking about it is we already knew this, but it's the fact that Jehovah's Witnesses were paying for this. So you people who are donating money to the Jehovah's Witnesses, you were paying for this Nazi military.
Oh my word.
Now, I know that there's connections with Adolf Hitler and Jehovah's Witnesses in the letter and stuff. I didn't go there, just so you guys know. I'm aware of that. I just kind of left that out because there's a lot of connections, but it was just too much. And so if you guys are going to tell me about that, I am aware of that. I just didn't put it in here. I just wanted to go through some symbols real quick. So there are all kinds of satanic symbols in here. So you have CERN and all this stuff, monster, and then I don't want to spend too much time on this. I just wanted to show you guys the symbolisms that they use.
Yeah, a lot of 666. Yep.
Yeah. So all these companies are Google, and then obviously the Walt Disney has the 666 there. Most people know about. We have the Apple logo, and then for example, if you guys ever heard the theory that aliens are demons, here's an example of that. Two Apple logos tied together, they form a gray alien. And then there's the 666, the first like operating system was sold and all this stuff. And then here's all the simple. Now, this is what I want you guys to pay attention to, if you guys don't mind, is the winged sun disc. This is going to show up here pretty shortly.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if you guys ever wondered why Paramount has this particular mountain as its symbol, it's because that's the Mount Hermon, and that's where the fallen angels landed.
Yeah, I played a video a long time ago, but yep.
Yeah, I think I remember you talking about this, and then obviously there's all these 666, and then I know you've talked about this. The NASA is obviously was created by Satanists, and they don't even hide it. That's why you have the snake symbol in NASA. And then there's something about the naming convention that actually means Satan in NASA. It's on here, but I don't know. I don't exactly know if I agree with this or not.
Wow, this
But
is crazy.
Saturn represents Satan. So if you ever notice that Saturn is really popular with satanic people, that's why.
Yeah, I knew a little bit about that. Yep.
And then here's obviously Amazon, Nike. These are all Celtic, and the Olympic gods are obviously the Olympics. That obviously makes sense. And then here's another example. What was this? The product gambler old logo. Oh yeah. 666 is in the stars. So here again, here's more symbolisms. Obviously, Chase Bank. We have all these other satanic symbols are in major companies, and then everyone's favorite, Watchtower. So, Watchtower. I don't know if you guys. Those of you who watch Quinn are already aware of this, but the Watchtower is a tarot card.
Yes.
The reason they named this is because they're into the tarot card. So that obviously is part of the occult.
Yes, yeah. Big shout out to Quinn Wright. That is the only man in XJW YouTube that I know of that has woken us up to all of this symbolism in his YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So you got to really give it up to him, because I wouldn't know half of this stuff if it wasn't for Quinn.
Yeah. And just so you guys know,
Shout
my
out to
first
Quinn.
channel had that stuff in there because nobody was doing it. And that was before Quinn he was still a witness during that time. My channel was taken down. The channel you see now is the channel that I had to make after Watchtower shut me down. I had much more in depth and better videos and better quality and research in there, and that's why they took it down. Because the way I did it is I put all my research links in the descriptions. So everywhere I got the information, government pages, everything was in there, and that's why they wanted to get rid of me so bad.
And you don't have them.
You had a lot of documentation.
No, I don't have any of that stuff. They didn't even give me a chance to fight it. They said I was sexually harassing Jehovah Witnesses because I said that they should report pedophiles. Literally, that's what they told me, and I had to fight them to get that information.
You didn't back it up, like no computer.
No, Ruby, I was completely computer illiterate when I was doing this stuff.
Oh my god! Well, at least you're still alive.
I mean, not really. I take it back. I was YouTube illiterate.
I know. Well, at least you're alive and well. So please, if you ever have the energy to do something again, even if it's just a 5-minute video, start up again.
The stuff that I have that I think is something that they would want to get rid of, I back them up now.
Oh, good.
Okay, good.
And then just so you guys know, Jimmy was backing my stuff up for a long time too.
Great. Yeah, y'all in the big picture.
Oh man.
Because we were sure, we were pretty sure they were going to take me down again. So Jimmy reached out to me, and I was actually putting my stuff on there. Like the videos that are about the occult stuff are on there.
Yeah, you can go to the Big Picture channel and see all those.
Yeah.
Yeah, so some of those are on there.
Beau, I used to follow you and you had that channel. It was a very interesting channel.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I appreciate all the information you brought up.
I had so much interesting stuff going, like bots attacking me and all kinds of crazy stuff when I had that thing going.
So
sorry.
I know Beau is getting ready to go into this here in a second, but I want to just show you guys real quick since we're on camera and not sharing a screen. This book I'm getting ready to show you is from 1912. It is The Divine Plan of the Ages. I have an old copy of it. And look what's on there.
Oh, no.
The symbol.
That's the wings, right?
Yeah.
So Beau's going to talk about that.
Oh, yeah. That's going to be awesome.
Can I just want to say, Quinn is doing videos now with a link between the Jehovah's Witnesses and Epstein. Quinn's doing that right now.
Yeah, we really gave a shout out. Yeah, definitely.
He's really good. So thank you.
Yeah, do you guys know about Epstein's third lieutenant?
No.
Sarah Kellen?
Is that her name?
Yep.
So, when I first started YouTube, I saw that, and I saw a lawyer talking about something with the Clintons, and then talking about Epstein and Jehovah's Witnesses.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started
Oh,
YouTube based off this video. It's gone now. It's been wiped out.
wow.
And in that video, not Epstein, it was either Epstein or his girlfriend said that Jehovah's Witnesses, the third lieutenant girl, was really important to them because she knew brainwashing techniques from Watchtower.
Exactly.
Jeez.
Yep.
Yeah, they literally said that. They literally effing said that. And I can't prove it because it's gone now. I've never seen this video. That particular lawyer that had it up in his channel, it disappeared. And he went totally anti-Trump shortly after that.
Interesting.
But that's not really relevant.
Wasn't Ghislaine Maxwell associated with the JWs at one time?
I don't know, Joseph. I've not seen anything on that.
I did come across, so this is the power of the algorithm. 3 years ago, a channel named XJW Curious made a video about the connection between Maxwell and a JW young girl that almost got recruited.
Yeah.
Okay,
that was in Florida. Yeah. That was in Florida.
Okay, so if anybody's interested, his YouTube name is XJW Curious. He's an older guy, white hair, and he did a video 3 years ago, and I sent it to Quinn because I was like, you're doing this stuff now, 2026. Look at all of these people talking about this years ago. And this was nowhere near our radar. We would have called them crazy. We would have been like, you're reaching. This is like a conspiracy. And now all of it is literally truth. So we are not talking about conspiracies anymore, people. This is the truth. It literally is just a choice of whether or not you are going to accept the truth. That's where we're at. I'm sorry, because we can present everything, but we cannot force you to believe it. So it's up to you whether you want to believe it or not. That's it.
And do your own homework. Do your own homework.
Yeah.
You guys want to hear something?
Yes.
Yeah.
So not too impressive, but when I look at my phone, the first time I started making notes on this phone about Epstein, because that Sarah Kellen, was August 31st, 2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
And
there you go. Wow.
Now they say,
wow.
Did you hear that Ghislaine's up in Canada? Did you hear that one?
That's been debunked.
Oh, it has?
Yeah.
And that wasn't her in Congress? It didn't look like her.
Yeah, that wasn't. Yeah. She's not in Canada.
Yeah. We did talk a little bit about that before. I was like, Jimmy, that is not her. And you believe in this clone stuff, so
yeah.
Well, they have put Jim Carrey cloned, and he's dead.
And that was true. And they thought we were stupid. Like, what are we going through right now? Like,
I don't know.
They're making it so obvious now. They're trying to wake people up.
Yeah. They were talking about these clones. There were actual publications about the U.S. destroying cloning facilities 20 years ago.
Wow.
In other countries.
Yeah.
And the reason I know about it is because one of the anesthesiologists I worked with, we were talking about it during one of the cases.
Yeah.
Wow. But in the Epstein files, if you have seen it, I don't know if you have, there is information about there in his ranch about a lab.
Yeah, Zorro Ranch. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I've heard about that stuff. I'll be honest with you guys. I haven't had the opportunity to dig too much into the Epstein stuff. So that's why
it's literally what you presented to us today. Bestiality and resurrecting the Neanderthal people, something like that.
Yeah.
And they were using humans to bring up that DNA
to conjure
back.
them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
the
demonic
Nazis were
stuff.
doing that.
Yeah.
That's demonic.
How much more you got on your slideshow?
There's a couple more images here, and then the next thing is the Jehovah's Witness stuff that you guys don't have to go through if you don't want to.
We're back. We're back. We could see you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off.
Okay, so
sorry. When you get to the Jehovah's Witness stuff, let's save that for just like another segment
Next
on one of our other
Tuesday.
shows. Yeah, maybe next Tuesday.
Sure, if you guys want. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
this is the symbolism. This is the Jehovah's Witnesses portion, but this is all from Jehovah's Witnesses stuff. These are all different symbols. There are obviously with the occult and their demon symbolism. Then there's stuff with Quinn. There's obviously the porn star that was in the You
Yep.
Can Live Forever Paradise Earth book. And
Oh,
then
yeah. Those are all.
I was going to end this with just the symbolism that was showing, obviously, this is new and how they have the girl eating bread, and that does not look like someone eating bread.
Yeah,
Correct.
Quinn Wright. Once again, he did such a
Yeah.
great job in explaining all of this.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, he
And
did.
then it's funny you guys have, so I put Quinn in here. He's
Yeah.
right here.
That's good. That's good.
So I wanted people, because Quinn asked me to, if I show stuff to make sure they know that they can get to it. So I put this in here for him.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
this is that 666
he's-
thing that you guys are talking about.
Yeah.
And
And
then that's
isn't
it.
she a porn star, the lady down the corner?
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
they used her picture.
just so you guys know, I literally made a video about this like years and years ago. I
Mhm.
bought the stuff that she's in to prove that she was a porn star, and I made a video about it. And I bought the Living Forever Paradise on Earth.
Oh my
And it-
goodness.
Yeah, I literally have this
Oh,
pornography thing of her in my room somewhere in
Oh,
this pile
gosh.
of Jehovah's Witness stuff. Just so
Well,
I can prove
is
to
it-
people that I wasn't lying.
Well, is it fair to say that they bought the image and they reused it to?
No, they did not.
I
So
don't
They
you
think
stole
so.
the image, and what happened is she has a brother, and some Jehovah's Witness showed up with the book, and then they were at the page. He saw his sister there.
No.
And so he went and
That's
told his
embarrassing.
sister, hey, why are you in the Jehovah's Witness book? And then Stern went after them, and then there was a lawsuit took place, and Jehovah's Witnesses steal shit from people all the time, and they just pay them off, and then that's the end of it.
Right. I heard they paid him off. Yeah.
Okay, so they
So,
just
I mean,
stole
that's
the
the end of that.
image. Okay. Thank you.
Same with their music.
Yeah, I've heard of that. You're right. Okay, go ahead, Beau. Go ahead.
Nope. So that's it, guys. So this is the end of it. So
Okay,
what I
okay.
was doing is this ends it. The next part was was all the Jehovah's Witness stuff. So I
Okay.
wanted everyone to understand the history, the rituals, the child abuse, and then I was going to show the Jehovah's Witness side of this stuff, like the imagery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well,
The-
that's in your face.
It
Was
is. They don't hide it. That's what I said. They don't hide it. But people are so stupid they can't see it.
Or
Unless you-
they just don't know. Like sometimes it has nothing
Yeah.
to do with intelligence. It's that we don't know. We are in the dark about a lot of things, and it's only until people like Beau, Jimmy, Joseph, you, and I that we actually come
Yeah.
together as if we're in a living room and we talk about things, which is why they want to separate
Oh,
us.
no,
all
that's not
that.
true. I told 2 active witnesses there was a demon on the bureau in the publication. It was the Thursday night meeting book. And she agreed with me, but she didn't do it. And then she called me up and said, did you see the front page of the Awake magazine? And I said, no. She goes, it looks like a face of a demon on it. But she's still
Yeah.
going. So she knows.
It takes time. The cognitive dissonance takes a long time. And
Yes,
like I said
hard.
earlier, it's a choice. It's whether or not you want to accept it, that this is the truth, and whether or not you're going to do something about it. But if you just sit there and do nothing with the knowledge, then you're just going to be stagnant for a long time. And I refuse to do that. I want to keep
And-
Now,
moving
you know what
forward.
they say to me? Where are we going to go, Gail? Where else are we going to go? Is what they
There's lots
Three
of
Any other
places.
church
that
that
to
doesn't
me.
worship Satan? I
Exactly.
mean, that
There's-
seems like a pretty good option to me.
I said
I'm just
that. I
saying.
said, if you don't worship God by default, you're worshiping Satan. But they
And-
think that's what God wants. So you know what? It's up to them. If they want to go down with the ship, there's nothing I can do.
Well, yeah, we
Can I
got.
ask you guys a question?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just all you guys. So I wrestle with this, and I just want you guys' opinion. So Jehovah's Witnesses, the higher ups are Satanists, right? There's
Right.
no
Yep.
argument to be made about
Yeah.
this. So we already know what they are.
Agreed.
The people who are underneath, the normal people, don't understand this, don't know this. My biggest
Mhm.
thing is the semantics of the weird things the Jehovah's Witnesses teach. Do you think that really matters to Jesus, or do you think the fact that they believe Jesus died on the stake or stake/cross, and that he died for their sins? Do you think the semantics really matter for
I
salvation?
don't know.
So I've asked this question in different communities, Christian communities, and one thing that I can agree with is this position, is that we believe that God acts justly, right? That he's a righteous judge and he will judge according to your acts or to your knowledge at the time of whatever, right? Judgment, to your judgment. If you were indeed in ignorance as a layman, you know, you had nothing to do with anything and you didn't have knowledge of any of it, and you were worshiping God to the best of in God, right? Like how I describe myself, I was always Christian. I just didn't know I was an occult, right? I can agree stance that God would have mercy or grace on that person and just judge them according to how they live their life or whatever, because they were in ignorance and they didn't know that Jesus died on the cross or that he actually is God and a part of the Trinity, etc., right? Now, it's different when you do come into that knowledge of truth and you still don't do anything with that, then that worry. And I would agree that that's the moment where you need to make that decision for yourself and for your salvation. If you do still believe in God and what the Bible says, is because yes, it will have a direct influence on your salvation because you know the truth and yet you did nothing with it. And that's why Jesus calls us to follow him. Like he wants you to get to know him, follow him. So if you know him or you're getting to know him or whatever, you have that desire, act upon that and let him draw you closer to him. So that's why when Gail said there's so much like paganism, like where's Gail, you said something to the effect of like, where can we find, I forgot which word you used.
Oh, I don't say that about myself. I have a relationship with God. I'm talking about the members.
Yeah, no, but you said this earlier.
They say to me, there's no place else to go, Gail, is what they say to me.
But when we were looking at the symbolisms, you were like, everything is like, you know, pagan. Is there anywhere else that keeps like sanctity or something like that you said? Something to that effect.
We're surrounded by, and it's going to get worse as the days go by.
Right.
I want to make one last comment about this, where it took me 18 months to come out. I believe I still read the Bible. I have a relationship with my Heavenly Father. I don't call him Jehovah. I do believe that Jesus keeps saying, do not be deceived. He says it over and over.
Right.
And God, and I heard today, you can't be drinking the cup of demons and the cup of God. He's going to spit you out. You're going to have to make a choice. And I tell the witnesses this to their face. There's going to be no religion. It's going to be worship. Who are you going to worship with the last days? You're going to either worship God or you're going to worship Satan. And you're not going to be, if you go on Satan's side, you know what's going to happen to you. So everyone's going to have to make up their own mind. And God does read your heart. I'm not the judge, but I'm just saying how I feel. I believe that it's going to boil down to who you're worshiping in these last days. Because when the Antichrist and the false prophet come on the scene, they're going to make it look glamorous. And unfortunately, a lot of the masses are going to follow them.
Well, and tonight's episode is a great example of why we always say that on the political side of things, this is bigger than Republican and Democrat or, you know, communist and not, whatever. This is bigger. This is a, where'd Beau go? This is a spiritual, there you are. This is a battle between good and evil.
Yeah.
And everything that was presented tonight, you know, shows the viewers and those watching this show the evil that exists. It is real.
Right.
Now you can debate, you know, this or that on some of the points or whatever, but what we're trying to show here is this battle is intense. It's bigger than anybody can even possibly imagine. And unfortunately, you have folks, well, I'll get to that. You have folks that were ignorant to stuff going on, but they took the time to understand, get information, become aware of what's happening. So they've left that ignorance side and gone into being awake. But then you have the people that are just stupid. Literally, they are. They're just stupid because you show it to them, and unfortunately, they just can't accept it. Now, to their point, give them a little credit, I guess, if you want to say. You give them a little slack. But the brainwashing and the MK Ultra programming is so strong.
Yes.
They know how to break it. It's. I mean, think about it. When CV came out, 75, 85% of the people went ahead and did this.
Yep.
Knowing, well, I don't think I should do it, but I need to go ahead and get it anyway, blah, blah, blah. So they just went along with it. The propaganda is so intense that that's all the people get. And unfortunately, there's going to be a group of people that no matter how much you show them, they're going to be lost forever. 4 to 6% will be lost forever, no matter what.
Well, to Gail's point, when she asked that question, and when Beau brought up that scripture about not being overcome with all this evil, that's when my journey into Christianity started up again. Because if it wasn't for all this evilness, if it wasn't for all this political failure, because sometimes we want to put our trust in politicians, and that's also not going to go anywhere, in my opinion. We need a higher power that's going to fight on our behalf, because we're fighting up against a whole lot of dark higher powers that we just described, right? So you cannot use a human to fight over these evil spirits. You need that spirit in more powerful, and that's why my belief in God came back again. But that was my search. I was asking the same question that Gail said, is like, where can I find a place that secures the truth, that teaches the truth, that has safeguarded the truth for thousands of years? And Beau mentioned it, how the Catholics, it intertwined it with Catholicism. That was my journey also. It's like, church out here doesn't bow down to the things of the world. That's how I knew the JW religion was false, because they bow down to everything of the world. And we've seen the symbolism, we've seen the trafficking, pedophilia, etc. That's how you know it's false. So that's where I was looking. Where can I find the truth? And it does exist.
It does.
Yep.
You know what's sad?
I can't wait for next Tuesday.
I pray a lot. I actually pray a lot for the witnesses. I do. I ask God to open up their hearts, because I think of the scripture that get out of her if you don't want to share in her plagues.
Right.
And the other thing that I think of, that they've got to be so brainwashed that they fall for all this. Even now, if they might say, "Oh, you can celebrate birthdays," they still can't. They still don't get it, and they don't leave. It's just how indoctrinated they are. But I do pray for them that God will open up their hearts. I really do. But I even told the elders this, and most of them couldn't stand me anyway. Because I spoke up. I said, I didn't come here for you people. I came because I thought that's what God wanted me. I believed in God before I went there, and I actually have a better relationship with God now than I ever did, because I don't have that energy
middleman. Yeah.
And I really believe he blocked a lot of my prayers, because I'm in a satanic organization.
Exactly.
Well, they don't believe that you are that you found God. They believe that you're an apostate.
Yes.
Yeah.
They can believe whatever they want. I don't care.
So Beau, for next week, how much time are you going to need to finish up that part? Like
the witness one's not very long at all.
45 minutes.
Okay.
I don't even. Let me look at it real quick. Let me see. I don't know how many slides are on it.
Yeah, I just want to have an idea, so as we prepare for next week.
I mean, you guys are super familiar with the Jehovah Witness stuff. To be honest with you, I think I could go through it pretty quick. It probably would be like 25 minutes.
Okay.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Because I'm sure we're going to have some news pop off next week too.
Yeah.
Ruby, it's getting close to 3 hours. Do we want to go ahead and start wrapping up?
Yes. Thank you so much, Joseph, Gail, Beau, Jimmy, for joining the stage. Everybody in the chat, thank you for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us. I truly appreciated some of your chats. Like, that was really helpful. If there is any last words, because I think I've said mostly everything I needed to say. I mean, I'm very optimistic. This is not a black pill, guys. Like, this is not a moment to be black pilled. We are being white pilled right now. And Beau is doing it for us. Like,
we're getting red pills.
Beau's the dealer tonight, and he dealt very well. So thank you so much, Beau. Go ahead.
All right. I want to thank you guys for letting me do this presentation. I am so sorry about the timing situation.
Oh, don't worry about that. We were great.
Yeah, that was good. I just want to let you
guys know that I really wanted to do this for these guys. I'm gonna be honest with you. I would not have probably done this if anyone else would have asked me. But when Ruby and Jimmy were asking me about this stuff, I felt compelled to do it. And I feel that this audience is the right audience that will be able to take this knowledge and then share it, because your guys' audience is very good at picking up things.
Yeah, they are.
Yes.
And so seeing this and being able to understand what they do, I think that they're going to pick up things that I missed, just like that. We saw at least 2 or 3 things in here that I missed that you guys picked up like that. And that's the beauty of training multiple people and seeing the data and looking over it. It's great
and
when there's
being
not
receptive,
just one person doing it.
Yeah, and being receptive too, because we could have said all of this and any other platform would have shut it down long time ago. You know, like they would have not, they would have not accepted it. Very close-minded, and we are not like that. So this is just
let's just say the information we put out tonight would not be shown on 6 screens.
Yeah. or any other channel that I've seen. Like nobody talks about this stuff like this. Like this is why I'm so thankful that we've built what we've built, because it's not just me. This is also you guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I had a vision and I didn't know how I was gonna do it, but I just threw myself there and I started by myself and we flourished together. So thank you so much. I can't wait till next Tuesday. I can't wait.
Beau, this is for you. Do you know who John Coleman is?
No.
All right, do your homework and talk about him, because this affects all of us. John Coleman.
Can you give me like basics about it? Is it a movie star or?
No, he's a former British intelligence agent. I think they killed him. He talks about a 300 elite group that runs the world. And he mentions the Royal Institute for International Affairs, the Order of St. John in Jerusalem. It's the Club of Rome, and there's 300 of them, and you're never going to know who they are. And their plot is to destroy America. And they're the ones. They're ones.
Is that associated with the Bilderberg group?
I don't know, but there's
probably the Committee of 300.
There's 300 members that are in it, and he wrote a book about mind control. And then he also said they want to decline the industrial and agricultural in the United States, and their plan is to destroy the middle class.
Do you have my number or my email address by any chance?
No.
I feel like I may have talked to you before, but I don't know. I've had so many people send me stuff and talk to people, I forget who I've talked to.
Go to the private
Give me your
chat.
phone number. I'll be glad to call you.
Yeah, go to the private chat if you could real quick, Gail, and type in your email or phone number, and then we could pass it.
Actually, you know what? We'll do it this way.
Speaking about the Illuminati, we were talking about there's a certain line of royalty, of privilege that comes down through this line. And in the archives of the University of UCLA, there's a diagram that links the Russell family to the Illuminati.
Yeah, they're one of the 13 bloodlines. Russell name is.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, guys. I had a few people in the chat asking me about Operation Spotlight real quick.
Oh, yeah.
So apparently, the Trump administration has seen the letters. So there's been information that's come back to some folks over in Europe. Got some confirmation on that. Some of the folks that sent letters in, they got information back from the President of the United States, thanking them for it.
I got a response too.
I didn't get one.
I haven't got one, and I'm one of the freaking founders. Really?
I sent him a letter personally. I didn't get anything.
Wait, hold up a second. I'm the only one who sent the coolest envelope, and I didn't get an answer back. Do you remember? I drew the whole American flag. I put arts and crafts into it, and I didn't get an answer.
Yeah. So
I know. I praised him and thanked him. I got nothing.
So there, they talked. My phone blew up Saturday night because they were talking about this on 6 screens. That there's a lot more people now that are sending letters in. I mean, we did this in February of last year, but it's still plugging along and people are still sending information in. So there's no doubt in my mind that, you know, where are we? What is going on? Where'd everybody go?
Ruby, Jimmy. Uh-oh. They're cutting
I'm
us
here.
out now.
Okay,
I
I'm
thought
back.
I thought Trump was going after the Watchtower. He said.
Well, just like I said, you know, there's some things going on behind the scenes. Watchtower is not, they're in the crosshairs. They are totally.
Jerry Kushner was the one that bought that main building.
Yeah, he bought that. Like I said, I don't like Jared.
No one likes him. He's spooky looking.
Okay.
Yeah.
So while Ruby's gone here for a second, because I'm going to need her for the outro. Don't go anywhere, guys. We do have a brand new video to play for you guys at the end of the show tonight. I want to thank John, XJW Analyzer, for putting the video together. Yeah, so it's going to be really good. So I want you guys to stick around for that. So with that said, let's take a minute or so and give last words for the evening. Joseph, do you have any last words on tonight's show?
Well, I enjoyed the topic, especially how Beau presented it. It was very interesting. It clarified a lot of things that I had read about, and the way he presented it brought back all these things that I did research on. So thank you, Beau, for that. I sure appreciate that.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys listening and watching.
All right, Gail?
I was just going to say this is educational. It's something we all need. It's not really stuff you want to hear. It's stuff that's very difficult to believe, because 10 years ago you wouldn't even believe this crap exists. But I think relying on God for strength, because God is the only thing that's going to protect us in these last days, because it's going to get worse, especially those that are good people and are against Satanism. I'm sure we're going to get attacked towards the end, but that's all right. Don't be fearful, because we have God on our side. And I want to thank Beau for all his deep research and all the videos that he showed tonight. And I highly appreciate it. And I hope everybody has a good rest of the week. Thank you.
Thank you, Gail, for participating. Appreciate you, hon. Love when you show up.
You do?
Thank you as well. Oh, absolutely, I do. And thank you too, Joseph. Beau, any last words for this evening?
Yes. I just want to thank Ruby and Jimmy for allowing me to present this. It meant a lot to me, and I was very, very proud to be able to share this information with you guys, because I seriously believe that I met you guys for good reasons, and that things are happening. And I can tell you, Jimmy, there are things going on about what you were just talking about. They do know about what's going on, and I am positive about that. I wish I could share more with you, but I can just tell you it's not gone on deaf ears, and I know for a fact that they know what you guys sent in, and it is being looked at. I can tell you that right now, but I can't get anything more than that. I'm sorry.
Well, you know, there's a part of me that, even though I haven't got no feedback yet from anybody, nobody sent me no letter, I wouldn't turn down an invitation to Washington, you know, if they wanted to.
Me neither.
That'd be kind of cool. But anyway,
that would be very nice. That would be awesome.
That would be awesome.
I would love to watch you, Jimmy, in Washington. I would record every moment you're there.
Here's something for you guys to research. My friend works with people from MIT, and he gets stuff from all over the world. Are you familiar with The Defender? It's called The Defender.
Yes.
Well, in that article he sent me, I don't know how to forward stuff to people. In the article, he talked about anti-psychotic drug, the vaccine. And 70% of the population, like Jimmy said, have been vaccinated. But they're talking about the anti-psychotic drugs that they've been putting in the vaccine. That'll probably explain why everybody's crazy or acting crazy or going crazy, whatever. I just wanted to throw that at you. I can send you the video, but I don't know how to send forward things.
It's all good. I appreciate that. I just want to say, Beau didn't. What'd you say, Beau?
I just said thank you, guys.
Okay. I just want to say, Beau, I really appreciate you bringing that information out tonight. It's not something we normally talk about, but I felt like me and Ruby both felt like we should do this so that people can get an understanding that when we're talking about political stuff and that it does match up to this stuff as well. It goes along the lines that everything is connected. And if you look at, not only is everything connected, but it's always the same players involved as well. And so with what Beau explained about the 13 families, then we know why it always seems to be the same players. So I just want to thank Joseph, thank Gail, thank the chat. You guys were freaking on fire tonight. I love that. That was awesome.
Definitely.
And
That was good.
Beau did a great job. So
yes, he did.
Tonight's video for the end, you know, we normally play a song that I put together. But this time we have a video to show you guys, and let us know. We may use this as our outro, but as we watch it, give us some feedback in the chat what you think about this. And we'll just go from there. Let Ruby have the say last word, but I appreciate you, all of y'all. Love you guys very much. I look forward to Tuesday nights and being with you guys.
Yeah, me too. It's amazing. Okay, yeah, I think we're good. I'm gonna go ahead and share the song. I think we did hear the song already, but this is kind of like the visuals for it. And I think we will use this because it's already a masterpiece in itself, even though I had no part in this one, but that's okay. Season 4 will start.
Sorry, Ruby.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I'm learning to let go. Like, this is not just me, it's all of us. So okay, thank you so much for joining, everybody. See you next
Good night,
Tuesday.
everyone.
Good night.
Yeah, good night. Next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right. Okay, no, Jimmy, come back. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not. No. Sorry, guys. Jimmy, where are you? No. I can't do this. It's gonna be glitchy, and I'm not gonna do this to the video. No. If you guys are still here, I am so sorry. Jimmy, I'm gonna have to call him.
Hang on. I'll share.
Jimmy. Yeah. I was just about to call you because I am like, no, I'm not doing this tonight.
Hang on,
I'm
guys. Hang on.
No, I can't do this.
Let me share it. Let me share it.
If you guys are still here, I am so sorry.
Oh, no, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
I know. It's a little lagged. I'm here. I was just about to call you because I am like, no.
Okay. Come on. Okay. All right. I turn that down. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here. Okay. Hang on,
I'm
guys.
here too. Oh no. This is so horrible.
Let me get to my screen. Hang on. Let me share a screen. Hang on, guys.
Please. Yes, please.
All right. YouTube. Hang on. I'll share the screen and I'll close it out tonight.
Yeah. Thank you so much because I was just about to call you. Oh my God. You're giving me a headache.
I was getting ready to go out there and smoke my cigarette. So sorry, guys. So hang on.
I always come between you and your cigarettes. That's hilarious.
I had to run back in real quick. All right, hang on. All right, I'm gonna share my screen. Sorry, guys. I'll close it out tonight. Thanks for sticking around. All right.
No, for real. I was like, absolutely not.
All right. There's the share. Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Jimmy.
No problem. No problem. Here we go.
Yeah, full screen. Okay. Perfect. Thank you.
They said I lost my mind, said I was chasing ghosts and shadows. I showed them what I'd find, but they just laughed and called me hollow. Tinfoil on my head, they said conspiracy delusion. Every word I said was buried They cost me sleep, call me unhinged at the dinner table. They rolled their eyes so goddamn deep, said I was broken and unstable. Lost my job for speaking out, got unfriended for the questions. Every time I raised my doubt, they made it therapy, they suggested. But I kept burning through the night, connecting every dot they missed. The only question left was when, not if. And now they get this. Call me crazy, call me broken, call me every name you've spoken. Paranoid, deranged and blind, but I had something on my mind. Now the curtain's torn wide open, every word I said is proven. Who's crazy now? Let the record show. Wide awake while you were in the show. You call me crazy, you call me lost, you call me lost, but you never counted the cost. Silencing the ones who see before the rest are ready. You buried us in ridicule, but truth don't shake so easy. Now the world is cracking open, and the shock is written on your face. And I know you want an answer for how you got so taken in this place. Well, I can say I told you so. God knows I've earned the right, but I held this torch for all of us, not to prove I'm right, but to give you light. I'm not here to burn you down or tell you that you failed me. I know how deep this rabbit hole goes. I know how bad the fall can feel. I was once exactly where you're standing, shaking in the story they were handing. So take my hand, I'll walk beside you. There's a way to step outside.